We're actually live this time.
Oh yeah, hello.
Hello,
Hello.
hello, everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever you want to call it. Hello.
Yes.
Actually, we actually did this like I'm gonna say like 5 minutes ago. But I didn't know I wasn't live. Hello, everybody.
It kind of got the nerves out of me because the first time we did this, I was like, I'm so nervous all of a sudden. Now I'm not so nervous anymore.
I took the nerves for you. The nerves transferred them from you to
Oh
me.
no, I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
Here, well, we will calm down. I'm sure, like in the next 5 minutes, you're gonna be feeling right as rain.
Exactly. I am feeling a lot better now. But that was so embarrassing. Like, I was like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Of course we're live. And I see it, and I'm looking at the OBS, and it's just it says go live right there. Like a big blue button right in my face. I'm like, oh.
It's Neil's fault.
It's Neil's fault. Everything, just blame it on the CEO of YouTube. It's his fault that I didn't go live. He should have made it such, like, less of an arduous process.
Yes, I agree.
But hello, everybody.
Hello, thank you for having me, Yoki.
Everybody that watches me regularly, this is Ami. See it.
Hi.
Spider VTuber. You can go ahead and introduce yourself, Ami. For real,
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Amiya Aranya. I am a dream-weaving spider. I am in fact a spider. I will turn the eyes on for a second just to show people, and I'll turn it off because I don't want people to freak out.
I like the eyes. So cute.
I'm actually a spider. Wow. And I want to learn how to art better.
Hi, I am Sigma Sigma Gokana Sirikata Kaita Sigma Sigma Hiramatakana Zokana Simataka Yabaki and Borikino Pipe, no sitting and sitting and a good and I couldn't upon Pokina Pon Pokina document Toske, but you can call me Yoki for short. My name is Inami Yoki, everybody. Sorry, I feel the need to do that during all the collabs. So yeah, no. Now we got that bit out of the way. I refuse to not do it.
Do you know how to do there's one that's like how's it go? Namagome
the cat one?
Twister.
The cat one?
Namamogi namagome namatamago?
I actually don't know that. I don't know that one, but only because I've not seen it. I know the
You speak good.
The nyanyame nyanya junyana do nyanyabi nyaku 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 hangana dai nyaku nebete nagangame.
All I heard was nya.
That's pretty much what it was. Oh,
very cute.
Yeah, very cute. But hi everybody, my name is Inami Yoki. I am a yokai VTuber. I promise I'm a yokai. You can see my little spirit orbs over here. Hi, I am a yokai illustrator. I do art, and my job here is to teach Ami how to art even better than she already does. I'm going to be Ami's teacher this stream, and we're going to go through a list of questions that Ami has given me to answer, and I will do my best to both teach Ami and you. So if you want to, feel free to draw along to my explanation. I hope I can explain it well, and we will get into the questions very, very soon. Yeah, no, I've been doing art for a while. It's been a while. I think it's been every single time somebody asks me how long have you been doing art, I always say 7 years, but I'm pretty sure a year has passed since then.
So 8 years.
8 years, I think. But like seriously, I've been drawing all my life, but this is like 8 years since I've taken it seriously. Yeah,
it's always awkward when people ask that question because I'm like I don't know. Since I was like 3, but then obviously it's hard to call that drawing when you're a toddler, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of more like scribbling. Well, at some point it stopped being a hobby for me, and at some point it started being more of a job for me. And that's kind of what I do now. That's kind of what I draw. I hope it's good. It's good. It's probably a bit strange, but you know, examples of my art include something like this. Hold on, I actually didn't set up many examples. Give me like 5 seconds while you can stare at this while I find an example. It's a work in progress. I didn't finish it yet.
Oh my god.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I have a lot of layers. Okay, give me a second. Yeah. Okay, something like this, or you may have seen this drawing. Over here, if it would load, it's not going to load. That's what it does. Okay, if you would load, please, that would be very nice. Thank you.
Come on, OBS.
It's not even OBS. It's just Clip Studio.
Oh,
okay.
Oh yeah.
Or something like this. You might have seen this drawing of Ina that I've done, or something like. Please load a little faster. I would like it. Come on, come on, come on. Let's go. I don't think it likes me today, actually.
Somebody.
Okay, here we go. And this one. So yeah, I am an illustrator, or at least I like to think so. Self-proclaimed. So
You
yeah,
are.
today I will be teaching Ami how to art based on questions that she's asked me. Chat, also feel free at some point during the stream, probably not while I'm answering a question per se, or maybe if you want to add on to a question I'm already answering, like, oh, like you know this, but how do you do this in this regard? You know, if you feel free to do that too. I'll do my best to answer as much as possible in as clear and a concise way as possible. So yeah, without further ado, thank you, Ami, for having me.
Thank you for having. It's your channel, silly. We went through this before when we were fake live. You're having
well,
me.
you're having me teach you.
No, thank you for having me, cause I've been drawing for like a very long time too, and like a really long time, and I never bothered to like learn how to do things properly in terms of like learning about anatomy or color or like anything like that. So my questions to you are kind of related to that sort of stuff. And your art is beautiful, so I'm so excited.
Thank you. Oh wait. So the problem is I kind of had the same thing as you, where I didn't really bother to teach myself these things. Well, the thing is, I'm completely self-taught. I've never taken any art classes before. The only reason I'm able to explain things in a clear and concise way is because I need things explained to me like a 5-year-old. So therefore, I explain things to people at like they're 5 too. It's not in a condescending way, only because that's how I would want it explained to myself. And a lot of people are like, oh my god, your tutorials, I can finally understand. I don't even do art. So I'm really happy about that, actually. So I decided to start a series so I could teach more people art properly.
Yeah,
so
that's the fair thing to do. When someone asks you a question, it's best to, unless they're really specific, it's best to approach it like they have never, like if they ask you, how do I cook a, I don't know, a steak? Your first question is not like, oh, what kind of steak do you have? It's like, do you know how to like turn on your oven, right?
Yeah, exactly. I approach it in a very like, if you don't know art, you will know sort of thing. Of course, I don't like navigate the program with you. I at least like the only requirement is that like you've touched Clip Studio at least once in your life, and I'll explain everything else to you. But yeah, I will explain this to you as if you were a baby. So
Yay!
Yeah. Well, technically in this class, put on your toddler hats. Here we go. Yoki's really good at explaining things in the simplest way possible. Thank you. I take a lot of pride in that, actually. I'll do my best, okay? So, get out your notes, everybody. Flip your textbooks to page 49. And
oh god, I don't have a textbook.
It's okay. You know what? Okay, put your textbooks away. You know what? We'll do this without textbooks.
Thank god.
All right. So, we'll immediately start with the questions. Going from sketch to line art, I always find that my art is flowing and fluid and dynamic, feeling my sketches. But when I want to line them, somehow it changes to being kind of stiff. How do you avoid this? And I understand this completely, because when I did like sketches in line art, I had the same problem. Like my sketches were very dynamic, very fluid, very nice in composition, but suddenly when I line them, I'm like, wait, where did all the fluidity go? It's suddenly stiff. Hold on. Let me draw you an example. Let me do like a very, very short gesture drawing. Let me do a person. We're gonna do person dancing or something like that.
It's gonna be incredible.
It's gonna be just a very, very, very small gesture drawing. It's not gonna be anything like revolutionary. So we got them, and then the body. Let's say it's going this way. The torso this way. They're putting out their arm like this
for a hug.
And let's say they are putting their hand up here, and this is a really awkward looking hand, but well, it's a sketch, okay? And then we got one of their legs like this, and another one of their legs like this, and we got like a basic sort of figure sketch down, and very dynamic, very fluid,
dynamic,
right? But like, let's say you go to line art and you are like, and then you would probably like go like this, or
It looks like a ballet dance.
Yeah, like a ballet dance. That's kind of what I was going for. And then go like this, and go like this too, and like here. Yeah. And like here too. Now let's. It suddenly feels a lot more stiff. It suddenly feels a lot less fluid and a lot more stiff, right? And you're trying to go like, how do I avoid that? What do I do? Now, first things first. Let me explain to you why this change happens. So a big part of the problem is like sketches usually have more thick lines. Like as you can see, my sketch is usually consisting of thick lines. Of course, this doesn't apply for everybody. Some people have very thin sketches, but the thing is, with sketches, they'll have like a lot of lines, and it's very, very rough because sketches are like the idea of what you want to draw before you go into the more polishing stage. So sketches feel like the possibility of a pose or a suggestion of a pose. They don't feel very solid, you know? They feel like a suggestion as what they are supposed to be. Therefore, they feel. The eyes fill in the gaps, you know what I mean? Because the pose is so rough, your eyes fill in like what it's supposed to look like. And I think that's very interesting because going from sketch to line art, the line art suddenly makes things more definite. The line art is anchoring the sketch to a specific thing. So now it no longer has the ability to be vague anymore because now the line art is there, and now everything that is supposed to be there in place is suddenly in place, and it loses a lot of its fluidity because now that the sketch, like now that we no longer have a suggestion, now that everything is like in a specific sort of place, it doesn't feel as dynamic as it used to be. And there are some ways to fix this. Some ways are less definite than others, but one thing that I can assure you is that at least it'll look a little bit better if you try these things. I'm sorry, there's a lot of phlegm in my throat for some reason.
That's okay. You well, actually no, I was gonna say you just ate, but you told me you haven't eaten for a
I'm
little.
having like allergies. There's allergies going on.
Funny.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like when I do sketches, it's like I use like the pencil on Clip Studio or whatever, and I always use it really big, and then I kind of just like, I don't know how to explain it, like carve out the things that shouldn't be there. But then, yeah, I think like you said, it's like your eyes are like filling in what you want to see.
Exactly. So now that it's like anchored down, it goes back to being what it was. My personal opinion, and I'll say this wherever I can, I have a more painterly style. The reason being is for a lot of things, line art sometimes becomes inconvenient to me. So my first suggestion, ditch line art entirely. But okay, I have to actually answer the question. I will advocate for the loss of line art wherever possible. 1 second. There we go. Yeah, but if you still want to do line art and you still want to base your style around line art, then I do have some tips for you. But I'm going to like say first and foremost that I do not have much experience with line art because my art does not use line art at all. I just paint over a rough sketch. So lose line art. I'm kidding. But here's some things that you can do if you want to make your line art more fluid. There you could I would first recommend learning how to properly line art. There is a right and wrong way to do line art. Well, honestly, all art is subjective. There's no right and wrong way to do line art, but there is an industry like right and wrong way to do line art, and there's just a technique right and wrong way to do line art to make it easier for yourself, more so than it being looking correct. It's more so how to do it correct. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when I do line art, well, I don't know. I've never had like a standard way that I personally do line art. Every time I like change programs or whatever, I always change it. The way I do line art. So now that I've been using like Clip Studio Paint, for example, I've been using the vector tool a lot. But
yeah, that's one of the points that I have. That's one of the points that I'm gonna get into. Don't worry. Okay, so first and foremost, there's things like utilizing all of the program features that are available to you, such as stabilization for cleaner line art. Because without stabilization, this is without stabilization. with stabilization. Much better, honestly, but I haven't turned it up high enough. Well, not all artists need stabilization, but this is personally for me. It makes curved lines and everything a lot cleaner. So we can go through with that. There is rotating, like doing. A suggestion that I've gotten was doing line art in a way that is more comfortable for your hand, such as when going through curves, you might want to do this rather than this. You know, because sometimes when depending on which way you curve, it can be a little bit awkward to your wrist. So if you were to gently rotate the canvas as you're doing something like this, the curve.
I do that a lot. I love rotating the canvas because it's like rotating because when you're drawing on paper, I feel like you turn the paper and stuff.
Exactly. I would probably turn the paper. I don't use the rotate features as much as I'd like to, but it's definitely a very useful thing. There's also flipping the canvas, which can also double check to see that your drawing is cohesive and definitely looks good on both sides. Sometimes I forget to flip the canvas, so if you do not, then don't worry, I don't blame you. But I do highly recommend flipping the canvas just to make it look good. Also,
I have. If I like notice that there's something weird about my drawing that I can't quite pick out, I'm like, I'll just flip it and see if it jumps out at me.
Exactly. And also, like Ami said, we have the use of a vector layer. And what a vector layer is I haven't used these too much, so this is gonna be a very rough explanation of it. Let's say I were to put a line right here, very small line. Now you can see it's very clear, very smooth. However, if I were to change the size of the line, like drastically, you would see it's a lot more blurry and a lot more fuzzy, and it can give art a very bad feeling. Do you know what I mean? Hold on. Like with the brush I use, it's more textured and more painterly, as you might have noticed. But however, if I were to make it bigger like this, it definitely loses a lot of like feeling, and also can make parts of your drawing look very fuzzy depending on where you're using it. Especially line art, it's very tricky. But with the vector layer, that doesn't happen at all. Like let's say one more, the line, we make it bigger. It's still just as clear as it was when it was smaller. So it's extremely useful to use on your line art layers. Very, very good. Okay. Second. Ami.
Sorry, I accidentally have myself muted. I'm so sorry.
No. It's just like a very like robot voice that just came through.
Is it better now?
It's much better now. I think it's because you were muted and like parts
I had myself muted for a second. I'm so sorry.
Robot.
I was just gonna ask, what do you usually have? I guess it's on feel based on how what works for you. But what do you usually have your stabilization at? Because I find I'm always like messing with mine.
My stabilization is usually at a place where it won't intrude on the way my lines are drawn, but it also helps my lines be straighter. So that's usually around like the 50s, because like the way I'm drawing now, it's still very relaxed. If I make a mistake or like a wobble, it still like messes up a little bit, but this way it works a lot better for me. So because if you have your stabilization too high, it can really mess with your drawing. Sometimes it's a lot. Like you see, when I draw a curved line, it delays. I finished drawing the line even after the brush was drawing, and it's just massive hindrance.
If you're trying to do something really, really quick and like scraggly looking, it's impossible to do if it's too
impossible
high.
Because of stabilization. So I would recommend, like, I personally use around the 50s. It does definitely change. But I mostly recommend around the 30s or 40s, actually. 30s or 40s, it'll keep your lines looking straight and clean, but also won't have that much intrusiveness on, like... Yes, it won't have that much intrusiveness, and it won't be too much of a bother. And you can still draw comfortably without having wobbly looking lines.
Naruhodo.
So, my first recommendation, study how you do line art. there's a lot of tutorials for it and a lot of like industry professionals that are just showing you more effective ways to do line art. That is if your style includes line art. If your style doesn't, then feel free to ignore this section, but this is mostly directed at line art. But there's more that I can say about this. There's also, my second point would be to use the perspective and warp tools in your art, and this is where the vector layer comes into kind of play. I forgot to draw this on a vector layer. However, if I, like, let's say this is, sketch is a lot more, where is it? Where'd you go? Where'd it go? Okay. There we go. There it is. Here it is. Okay, there we go.
Do you have trouble finding the layer that it was on?
True artistry moment. Anyway, yep. Sketch is a lot more fluid than the liner is. I would personally use the liquify tool and like this is also linking to another point of mine, but also I would tinge, edit it a little bit. Line art is not a definite thing, and people don't seem to understand that line art can be changed. Line art doesn't have to be like, oh well, I fucked up the line art. No, you can still edit it. Like, hold on, let me bring out the...
Yeah, I messed up and now I have to live with it. Because it was a lot of work.
You don't have to live with it. It's not the end. It's not the end. Now this looks a lot more dynamic and a lot more... You see, we're bringing back the dynamicism. It's more smoosh now. You know? And
yes.
That's, you can still edit your line art. Even though this isn't really line art and it's kind of like a thinner sketch. But listen, you know... like line art isn't the end. Line art is editable. It doesn't have to be the final destination. Like, oh well, it's screwed up, I have to live with this now. No, you can definitely bend your anatomy a little bit, make things more profound. Like right here, I just puffed out the chest. I just distorted the arm a little bit, both arms. I brought out the leg here a little bit. I made the waist a bit thinner, and now there's a lot more movement to the motion than there was before. Now I'm gonna put this back just for educational purposes, but now it is a stick again. Very straight
I saw it transform.
It's okay to use the rules of the program. I recommend doing this on a vector layer because if you move it too much, it can look a bit blurry because of like the pixels and stuff. I'm not really sure how that works too much, but I would definitely just like use a vector layer for that sort of thing. Is if you want to use the perspective of warp tools, you can still edit your line art. Is what I'm trying to say. And also another thing is I would recommend going to the sketches and making them thinner and more easy to understand. So that when you transfer it over to line art, not everything is lost. So a lot less is lost when it goes from sketch to line art. Because when you make your sketch too vague, the result in your line art is definitely losing a lot of elements of the sketch, which is why do my sketches look so amazing but my line art looks like shit? It's mostly because your sketch might be a little too vague. And while you should get your idea on canvas as fast as possible, you still want to understand what you're trying to convey. Also, it's just a recommendation for those that like are unhappy with the way their line art comes out, especially in the stiffness. I think because the thing is, while you still want your sketch to be rough, clearing a little bit of that roughness while still maintaining like the fluidity of it will help it show in your line art a lot more. Yeah. Oh, but another thing I was going to like go back on is that when I was using the liquify tool, I was bending a lot of the arms, and a lot of people may be like, oh, but won't that look weird? It won't look anatomically correct, something like that. And all I have to say is that when it comes to anime, you don't have to worry about what looks anatomically correct. I would recommend distorting your anatomy as much as possible. Okay, for example, a lot of people are worried about their anatomy and it looking like right and correct all the time, but it doesn't always have to be right or correct. So long as it looks good and so long as your anatomy makes sense to the eye, you can do quite literally anything. There's a very broad gap of what's correct. Like for example, what I would personally do, let's say you have a pose where this is a person's arm, a forearm, and the pose is getting this arm from this place to this place. So it's like an in motion pose, and you just want like an arm over here. Personally, like right here, like I feel like there would be dragging their arm up. So I would personally bend the arm a bit slightly to exaggerate that pose. Its exaggeration will definitely make it a lot more fluid, especially since we're working with anime. This doesn't really pertain to real life. You can still take real life elements. I remember seeing something where it was like that arms do this thing at very high speeds where they will bend slightly, because you know, joints and stuff, like they'll bend and do this thing. So you can show that and you can exaggerate through your pose. It's all about exaggeration.
Yeah, it's kind of like an optical illusion type of thing, right? Where it's like if you're watching a video of something, sometimes it can almost seem like, you ever do the pencil trick?
Yeah, exactly.
You jiggle the pencil and it looks like it is a rubber pencil.
Yeah,
you're saying that happens with arms.
It's pretty much exactly what happens. Once you move, if you move the pencil fast enough, I assure you, it'll at least bend just like a little bit.
It has to. There's no way it doesn't physically bend.
Yeah, exactly. Just take cartoons, for example. They do a lot of squash and stretch in animation. So I say, like, apply that to your art, because that'll add a lot, it will make your poses a lot more dynamic. If it's like, if I was doing this correct, anatomically correct, I'd probably have a lot more stiffness to it, but it would look a lot more correct. You know what I mean? You can sacrifice correctness for attractiveness in a pose, you know? So it doesn't.
I have an intermittent question, if that's okay. I don't know if I don't want to put you on the spot.
Don't worry.
But when I was in like high school or whatever, in art class, my teachers would always say that you can exaggerate anatomy any way you want, pretty much, but you have to like have a basic understanding of anatomy before you do that. How basic is basic? Like, what would you say is the level you need to be at of understanding before you can go distorting?
This is a good question. So I would mostly have the understanding of how long everything is supposed to be, how things are in relation to each other. So I will definitely elaborate on this more during like the other portions where you did ask me about anatomy. But a person should be around 7 heads tall compared to their head. So if you were to take this, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like, you know, depending on like on that, something like that. I probably didn't do it too correctly, but
you like did it, and you were that's not what you were even trying to show. I'm already amazed.
Like, a person should be 7 heads tall, like including their head. Their body should be 6 heads long. Keep that in mind, and your body will look a lot more cohesive. You should know that the arms end at the mid thigh. You should know that the legs are as long as like the torso, a little longer than the torso itself. Just that basic of an understanding of anatomy, and I think you could distort it as much as possible. You just need to know how everything works in relation to each other. You don't need to know it on like a muscular level. You don't need to know where every single artery in a person's body is. You don't need to know any of that. Just know.
Although I'm sure muscles would help if you want to be like super detailed.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of anime is simplifying those muscles. Oh my god, hold on a second. This room is like the hottest thing in the world.
I think I cursed you. It's okay, I think I cursed you. I'm always complaining about how hot I am in my streaming room. You got so tiny.
Yeah, it's like boiling in here. Okay, I turned on the AC. I should be oh god. I should be okay in a little. I'm sweating right now. Okay, but yeah, just knowing how long to make the limbs, how big to make the head, making sure everything looks appealing to the eye is pretty much all you need in order to just distort it as much as possible. Like how long arms should be, how long legs should be, how big should the head be, and you're pretty much good to go. Like where should the crotch be, where should the torso be, how high should the boob be, you know, that sort of thing. I
feel like I have an okay grasp
It all comes down to
on
shapes.
Proportions.
Yeah, proportions. I'm pretty sure, like, if I were to explain it, like, TLDR, you just have to have an understanding of proportions. You don't need to know, like, the body muscularly. Okay. You just need to know proportion, and then I feel like you can distort it in any which way you want. A lot of it boils down to stylization though. A lot of people stylize their art in which art doesn't really look human. It doesn't look like anything like an actual human. It's like, you know, sometimes people have long legs, sometimes people have short. It comes down to what your style looks like and what looks good to you personally.
Okay, so if I want to give myself big thighs,
you could do that. You could do that technically. I mean, like, you know, it depends. Art is very subjective. There's no correct way to do something. But you know, you have to think about what's going to look appealing to your audience too. Like, if I pulled you up right now and your thighs were the size of that desk, I'd be a little concerned. I don't think they are. I'd hope not. Imagine though. Tinker thighs. Asking the important questions. True. But yeah. Let's see. I have a bit of notes here because I need to make sure I do my studying too. Yeah. So essentially, change the way you think about anatomy. You don't need everything to be anatomically correct. Like, oh, arms don't bend like that. Okay, I don't care. It looks nice. It looks cool. Like, if you were to go and look at art, you'd probably see, okay, wait, that arm, I don't think that could humanely bend that way, but it looks good, doesn't it? So why are you complaining?
Yeah, maybe if you're drawing like I don't know, like a freaky zombie.
Yeah,
like you want to have the arm bend backwards 90 degrees or something.
Yeah, you could do that. 100%. Like, a lot of artists do like small little tricks. Like, if you look very closely, you'll see like an arm. I don't think that could humanely bend that way, you know? But the thing is, it makes sense to the eye at first glance, and therefore the drawing looks good. So literally just use a bit of shortcuts, and this room feels so much better now.
Hey!
Yay!
we love the AC unit.
AC unit, thank you. It's starting to heat up over here, so it's like, oh my god, I'm gonna be sweltering in a little bit. Hi. So,
hi.
Okay. Next things next. What else do I have on this line art topic? Yep. So line art is edible, do it in a more efficient way. So I'll just reiterate my points here.
Yeah.
So, a big part of the problem is that sketches usually have thicker lines. Sketches are very vague, so the eye fills in what they want to see, which makes the sketch look a lot more dynamic, a lot more fluid, especially since like you wanted to make it that way and it seemed that way. But when you create line art over the sketch, because line art is so thin, it anchors the sketch down to one place, so your mind has no more room to fill in the gaps. That's why it looks a lot stiffer, because it's brought back down to reality. But there are ways to fix this. No. So first and foremost, I would use the perspective and the warp tools in my art, because by exaggerating the anatomy a little bit can help bring a lot more interestingness to your art and a lot more dynamic to your art, and it can also help composition a lot, even if it doesn't make sense, such as making the hair flow in obscene directions even though there's probably no wind in the drawing. It can
love that.
Yeah, it can make your art look a lot more attractive, even if it doesn't make sense. It doesn't have to make sense, it just has to look good, you know? I would also make your sketches thinner, because when you have a lot less vagueness, it transfers more easily to line art. Now, I'm not saying like take away that make your sketches your line art. I would just say make your sketches more easier to transfer to line art by making them more thinner, more cohesive, while still having that like dynamicism, and I swear your line art will look a lot better towards the end. No, also change the way you think about anatomy, in the sense that not everything has to be correct. I think you have to have like an understanding of proportions, but once you have an understanding of proportions, you can distort anatomy in any which way you possibly want, unless like her hand is quite literally rotated 180 degrees, then maybe don't do that. But unless you like, depending on the pose you want to do, it's fine to completely like make things bend in a way they probably shouldn't, make waists bend backwards, break her spine, break her neck, who knows, God.
Oh my god.
Break her
Nobody take this out of context.
Mutilate your anime characters is what I'm saying. if it's for the purpose of composition, what looks good in a drawing, then you can do it. But make sure you don't do it like in a way that makes it look painful. If it looks painful, you're doing it wrong. But if it just looks really fluid and really nice and really flowy, then by all means, go ahead. And
I feel like some of the viewers only took break her spine, break her neck.
oh, okay, maybe don't do that. Hold on.
I'm kidding,
Maybe I need to explain this to you. Please don't.
No, it was perfect. I understood it.
I don't think you should leave this classroom now without properly understanding this. Do not go out and break random people's spines. I don't trust you guys anymore.
In a drawing, in a video game, in an anime drawing.
I don't think you should do it in a video game either. I mean, unless you're playing with something like Doom, then don't do that. Too late. What do you mean too late? What are you doing?
I'm scared.
I'm a bit scared too. You know what? Stay on that side of the classroom. Thank you. We can't conduct snap spleen inspections. I do not know what that is, but I don't think I want to find out either. So, yeah, do not. Maybe I should have rephrased this. Maybe make it so your anime character looks like jelly.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay,
I like jelly.
You said "oh" in a way that like.
No, I understand. I understood it before. I do that a lot where I'm like,
you sound like you came to a realization.
Oh, jelly.
Oh.
Jelly and not breaking bones.
Oh.
Got it.
No, we're not breaking bones. No turning back. No. Sudden realization. But yes, yeah, change the way you think about study line art. Study a more efficient way to do line art. I'll say this over and over again. If you are stuck on something, you're like, how do I do it? Take some time out of your like lesson or your life to study it. Okay, you're going to want to go to an in-depth study on how you do it before you move on to anything else, and I swear it will make your art look so much better. You can absorb this information like a sponge and carry it wherever you go. So yeah, it's definitely useful to set aside some time, even if you're like doing a hobby. If you want to make it look good, like go ahead and just study like specific things you want to do. Like you want to study line art, go look up some videos on line art, study like a line art from a person, just work on making it look good, and then you can go back to doing whatever you want to do. Or maybe even colors, study color theory, study like backgrounds, that sort of thing, you know. Take some time, just study. It's like studying for a test.
Would you say it's useful or helpful to, like, if I'm practicing line art, for example, is it useful or harmful to like kind of study and practice parts individually? Like, for example, if I just want to do line art on eyes better, is it gonna be harmful for me to not do that in the context of a full face?
Absolutely not. I don't think so. I mean, I personally recommend studying all together, but if you're going to just study line art around the eyes, I don't see anything wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with obtaining new information. Though, you might want to consider the fact that if you have line art amazing around the eyes and kind of strange and wonky everywhere else, you might want to study
trash everywhere else.
Yeah, you might want to study everything. I recommend doing it all together. Like, okay, so you could probably break it down. I don't mind you breaking it down. Like, if you study how to do it on the eyes one day, and then study how to do it on the mouth another day, study how to do it on the hands another day, and then squat and then practice it all together. I think that's perfectly fine. But I do recommend at some point practicing it all together, just so your drawing looks more cohesive and less like a photo bash of multiple things.
Okay, got you.
Is there any forms of studying or practice that is harmful? I don't think so. I don't think there's any practice that is harmful. If you're working to better yourself on something, I don't think any sort of practice could be harmful. You know, any art, like if you walk up to any artist on the street and you're like, how do I draw? They're literally going to tell you practice. Though they won't tell you how to practice, because vague questions get vague answers. But still, I don't think there's any sort of practice that you could do that would be detrimental to your style at all, honestly. Yeah, I'm trying to think. No, all practice is good practice. It's just depending, like, it's all a matter of what you want to work on. If you want to work on this one thing and you're like working on a completely different thing, then I think that's the only anything that I could see as harm.
Yeah. And I guess if you're like, I can't draw eyes good, and then you're like, I'm gonna practice drawing feet.
yeah. What's going on there? I think
What's the point?
At that point, it's just strange. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for cheering me on. I'll be doing my best. Feet. No, you've summoned the feet people. No, Ami, why would you do that?
I always do this.
You summoned the feet.
It's because I don't see, because like 2 feet is just normal.
Oh no. Yeah, no,
I
me
think
too.
about it, and after I say it, I'm like, oh yeah.
I can
That's like
appreciate a well-rendered foot, but I don't see it as like, oh my god, feet. Oh my god, feet. I don't see it like that. No. Now the feet people are here. Oh no.
Oh, I made myself big. Oh god, how did I do that?
Oh my god.
I'm
Big
okay.
on me. It's okay.
It's not because of the feet.
It's okay. Oh no. Oh no.
Sorry. Okay, I'm normal. I'm normal now.
I don't think there's anything that you could do to scare me off. I've done things considerably weirder than this.
Okay.
Rest easy. I'm considerably weirder than you.
Is that a challenge? No, I'm just kidding.
That is a challenge. Let's see who can be weird.
I don't want to be weird on your channel. I think we're both normal. Let's just go with that.
Yeah, we're both normal. We're both very normal. It's chat that's weird. Is this the feet stream? No, it's not. What are you talking about?
No!
Trust her. She's gonna be hard to beat. Thank you. My own chat. Thank you.
Oh, that's
Ouch. I haven't even done anything today. I think they just have like you know what, my chat likes to see anybody that isn't me. You know, like they'll like somebody will join. No. I'm serious, because they'll join my chat and they're gonna be like, "What a cute VTuber." They'll know me for a month.
Listen, I'm trying to make you jealous because they think it's cute when you're jealous. I promise.
Really?
That's what's happening. Yeah.
Is that what's happening?
Trust me.
Really? Wait, I haven't thought of it that way. They'll be like, somebody will be like, "I'm gonna punt you into a wall," and they'll be like, "Thank you, person. Thank you so much. We're free now." It's that sort of thing. How disrespectful. How disrespectful. I'm watching all of you. It's just Ami, don't expose us. I'm watching you. I'm watching you. Now Ami has given me insight. I'll be watching you from now on.
We're all learning something.
I can't believe you're one of those, chat. She knows too much. Ami's very intelligent. She doesn't have all that forehead for nothing.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of brain in there, but it's not really, it's pretty smooth.
Very smooth brain, just like me. I also have a lot of forehead. That's where I got the nickname Egg from. Okay, hi. Okay, so now we are on to the next subject. Okay, before I end this section of the stream, vector layers, useful, use them.
Okay.
Vector layers, they will help smooth out your line art and make sure that your line art doesn't look weird when you warp or distort it. So, and your line art is editable. You can make it any way that you'd like. Feel free to use the warp and perspective tools on your line art. Your line art isn't the final destination. You can still tweak things as you go. I know a lot of artists that'll be well into the rendering stage and will still like completely change and overhaul like the mouth or like an arm or something. Like they'll just erase it and add a new one and re-render over that. Like it's not like, no part of art is like the final destination. You can still edit quite literally everything. So you don't have to like stay solidified on your line art. You don't have to be like, oh my god, my line art, it's like this forever, it's over. No, it's not. But also, I have one more trick for you. I want to say this is really a trick. So you see this sketch, you're like, oh my god, so dynamic, so amazing. And you're like, I don't think my line art could get any better than this. I would go, like, you can't see it here because I'm only sharing the Clip Studio, so it won't show any exterior windows. On the top, you can see things like file, edit, animation, layer, select, view, filter, window. Okay, so you would go to filter, you would go to correction that comes under it, and then you would go to adjust line width. And this way you can adjust the width of your line art, and you can make it thinner if you want to use your sketch as line art. Yeah, like you could do something like that, and then you can go ahead and fill in the spaces, and you can be like, yeah, this was my line art the entire time. You know?
I do that sometimes.
And sometimes you still have that same dynamic in it, you know?
Yeah, sometimes I just clean up a sketch a little bit and just use that.
Exactly.
Because I don't want to change it.
Right, exactly. It's a little bit of a trick that did help people that had come before me. So I just decided to show you too. But
Okay.
if you want to practice line art, then go practice line art. Okay, I'm not
Okay.
stopping you, but I recommend you drop it entirely. We don't.
Well,
I
I would like to, because I'm more of like a like I explained to you, my process for sketching is like putting a bunch of stuff and then taking stuff away until it looks correct, which I feel like is a more painterly method to begin with. And I also noticed when I make props and stuff for streams, I started like doing a sketch and then filling things in with color and then doing the line art. Like I've been doing it on the same layer as the color. I probably shouldn't do that, but like doing it after.
Oh, hi Duke. Okay. Everybody say hi to Duke. Duke is my sensei. I'm the sensei, but Duke is like the kami sensei. Duke is the one that teaches me how to do art. Duke is a very, very skilled illustrator. Please go follow Duke. He's very, very amazing. And he's going to probably be moderating me through my entire stream. And also adding little tidbits of information. If you feel like something's not clear enough coming from me, you can always go ahead and ask Duke. Everybody's like, hi Duke. But yeah. Hello Duke. He's come to critique me. But yeah. Okay. So where was I? My train of thought anyway, just derailed. It's gone now. No more thoughts in this brand. There's no more thoughts. I don't know.
It's my fault. I'm asking unrelated questions, but I just you do explain things really well, I will say.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
really?
So now I'm like, I gotta ask more stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to give you room to create other questions.
Thank you.
So before this line art section is over, does anybody else have any more questions about how you do line art? How to go? Does anybody have any questions that are similar to this subject? I'll give them time to ask because latency.
Last class.
If you have no more questions, feel free to just write nope in the chat. Also, I really like the beret on me. It's very fitting. It looks very good.
Thank you so much. I made this for myself. Yes. I had a different.
Oh, that's cute.
Thank you.
It looks amazing. You're an artist now. Yes. How do I draw good? Practice. Vague questions get vague answers. That's one of the things I outlined specifically when doing this sort of like this sort of what's it called? This sort of like a series. I can't answer a vague question. Like if you ask me how do I draw, I can't teach you anything because like what do you want to know? So I asked Ami to give me very specific questions. Unfortunately, she did.
Yay! I'm glad they were good enough. I was like, I gotta think of good questions. But also these have been questions I had for a while. This has been living in my brain.
And just floating around in your head rent-free. How do I draw good? Draw more. Very true. Draw more. There is literally... So I soak up information like a sponge. Every single time I go back and draw, I learn a new technique. So like I went from this drawing right here, which is very good, hi Ina, to this drawing. Wrong one, sorry. This one right here. Like in which I learned a bit more about like the rendering process, and also I decided to use like a chromatic aberration. And also to this drawing, in which I learned more about like shading cloth and what exactly I wanted, like values and stuff and skin shading, that sort of thing. Yoki leaking Patreon. It's not really Patreon content anymore. This is an art stream.
What is chromatic aberration?
So it's this effect essentially where you see how this one half is blue and this one half is red.
It's like 3D glass.
It gives a bit more of a blurred effect and kind of like an old camera, you know? It gives a bit of flavor, a bit of spice.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Like it's kind of like a, I don't know, like a film.
It's not noticeable from afar, though. If I were to like remove it, you probably would notice, you know. Well, I can't necessarily remove it right now because.
Oh yeah, no, that's okay.
It's kind of set in stone now.
I never heard of it.
here's Yoki's art, Mama. Are you your own VTuber, Mama? No, I'm not my own VTuber, Mama. I'm happy that you think I draw that good though. Konogi, yeah, my mama is Konogi Mama. I'm about to switch mamas. I'm about to get a new model, but I will still be using this model because I love Konogi Mama. She's so cute. I could go on and on about how cute she is, but that would take up like a good extra hour. Just know she's like the nicest mama ever, and if you're ever thinking about being a VTuber, I highly recommend going to her.
Aww.
So sweet. I love her a lot. She's so nice. You know, okay, one story. So, I'm my mama's first VTuber child. I'm like the first VTuber child ever. And when I handed my PTSD to the PTSD for me for real. Anyway, PSD Photoshop document, not post-traumatic stress disorder.
Apparently the render of my 1.0 art has chromatic aberration on it. I'll have to go back and look at it.
Really?
Closer,
pretty
yeah,
interesting.
apparently.
I could probably analyze it. But anyway, yeah. So when I handed the PSD to my rigger, he barely had to ask for any changes at all. Everything was separated extremely nicely. If he had any changes, they were personal preference in his rigging. The changes would come back within 30 minutes. And I actually got curious. I asked my mama, how did you get so good at separating if I'm your first VTuber child? She's like, I wanted to be a VTuber mom for the longest time. I'm like,
oh, you gave her wish.
She's so sweet. She's so sweet. I love her a lot. Go follow her. Anyway. Yeah, she's mostly JP. Oh, sorry, another story. I'm sorry. I'm obsessed. All right, if I have a chance to tell like stories about her, I will. But like this is really short, I promise. So when like separating my art, she asked whether I had a JP rigger or an Ian rigger, and I told her my rigger is English. I speaks in English, so she manually went out of her way to rename every layer to English, even though she's mainly JP. Like she barely speaks any English, and when she talks to me, she translates her messages in both English and JP, just so I don't have to go out of my way to use a translator to understand.
So sweet.
And I do the same thing back to her. It's to the point where my brother went with a JP rigger. And she didn't know that, so she renamed the files. Like the files were all in English for because she assumed my brother, since he was an English VTuber, was going to an English rigger, and she panicked so hard when she found out that it was a JP rigger. She was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Do you need me to rename the files? I'm really sorry." And the rigger, who was also JP, was actually really impressed with her knowledge of English.
Oh, that's so sweet. That's a VTuber mama's love right there. Why everything be perfect for your child?
She is the cutest ever. But I love her so much. Anyway, yeah. Follow her. Anyway, we're going on to the next question now. But yeah. Next question. Question number 2. I cannot draw men for the life of me neither. So, what are some of the key anatomical differences in terms of anatomy, especially facial structure? Okay, I want you to know. I need a heart-to-heart with you, Ami.
Okay.
Come here. Oh, actually, one second.
Can you?
Wait. Oh, I should have moved. I was gonna move to you. It's just my model. Okay, now it's good. Okay, I can move into your face now. Okay, you can go sit down. Go sit down so I can move to you. It makes it more of a heart-to-heart. There we go. Hello. I'm gonna have a heart-to-heart with you.
Okay.
I learned how to draw men just for you in under 24 hours.
What? You didn't have to do that. It's not that important.
My art consists entirely of cute girls. Well, I can draw men, and I have drawn men before. I have not studied the anatomy. In general, all right, I have not studied male anatomy because I have no need to. I draw cute girls. That's my thing. That's my niche. I draw cute girls.
To draw ladies.
Exactly, but like when you asked me how do I draw men, I remember being in call with Duke, and I immediately panicked. I was like, no!
You're like, it's come. The time has come for someone to ask.
The time has come. My reckoning. The trials to prove whether or not I'm a real artist or not. So in under 24 hours, I have figured out and devised a way to explain to you how male anatomy works, and I'm still not entirely confident in it, so I will explain as best as I humanly can.
That's okay. Anything is a start, because I have like you know, some of my my gen mates from when I was in Tsundere are dudes, and I was like, it'd be nice if I could like draw us all together or something.
Right. Okay. So I got you. Okay. I want to preface a little bit. Oh my god, my hand.
Oh. that was I do that every day.
She's already started. I knew you were a spider, but she's already started picking me apart limb by limb. Okay, one second. Let me fix my hand.
Ah, my eye. Just kidding.
Oh,
just
yeah,
kidding,
sorry.
it
I
did.
just poked my eye. Okay, that didn't happen. Oh my, yes, it did. Okay, okay. Can you just like? Oh my god, Ami. Okay, there.
There we go. Why are you saying Ami like it's my fault?
Okay, yeah. She started taking me apart. It's her fault. Listen. I understand you're a spider. You might have carnivorous tendencies.
I
but
do.
I really need all of my limbs to teach you. So,
okay,
if you
I'm
could
sorry,
refrain from.
I will eat a different limb.
Okay.
Wait, you need
Where
all
did
of
my
them?
leg go? Where's my leg?
I do have leftover pizza. That's true. I don't need to eat you. You're safe.
Okay. For now.
now.
My arm is kind of weird. Hold on. Give me a second while I fix this. It's okay. It's a yokai thing. I can change. Okay, hold on. Yeah. I can change the way. Yeah, okay. We're good.
There you go.
Yeah, we're good. Exactly. Okay. So anyway, that didn't happen. What was I saying again before that?
You learned how to draw dudes in 24 hours.
Yeah. Okay. So, I will preface this though. I didn't account for all body types because, you know, men come in all in different shapes and sizes. This pertains mostly to ikemen men. I didn't do too buff. It's more like on the leaner side, skinny, lean, you know, that sort of thing. But I can explain. I can't really do another illustration of a man, but I can break down to you how you would go about doing different body types. Not. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, pretty ikemen boys. I'm gonna teach you how to draw pretty boys, like the ikemen boys.
Bishonen.
Yeah, bishonen. Exactly. Matsu men, that sort of thing. So let me pull up the first example. Here we go. Let me actually pull up my notes too. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. So we got the difference between a man and a woman. You see?
Did you draw this?
Yeah, I drew it. It's me. Okay, so we already got we can already see a bunch of key differences. Hold on, let me get a pen ready.
I'm opening my Clip Studio. I'm gonna try.
Feel free to go ahead and take notes.
Yeah.
The last person here did. Okay, so now, like, you see man here, but how do I man? Like, how do I man? Okay, I got to. So there are definitely some key differences between men and women, but honestly, once you break it down, it's really not that hard to just transform a woman into a guy, you know? Well, you know, not like that, but still,
in a manner of speaking.
So there's a few differences that you need to keep into account when it comes to drawing guys, and it's that women and men use different shape languages. It all comes down to shape languages. It all boils down to shape languages and understanding what sort of shapes make up a character. So if you went to school for character design, you'll probably find that like at some point they will teach. Okay, it's way too cold in this room right now. Okay, one second. You'll find that a lot of things, like the fundamentals of character designs, consist of using shapes to convey a character's personality. So when it comes to anime art, it's a bit watered down in that sense, because you don't really need shapes to convey what a character's personality is. You use the design more so to convey a character's personality, but we still use shapes to differentiate between a guy and a girl. So here's where I will explain why. Women, okay, I'm gonna boil it down for this. Like this is literally the TLDR. Women, rounder. Men, more sharp. Are you following?
I'm following. I'm
You're
following. I know where my eyes is half
Women
closed because my head
round.
is turned. I'm following.
Women round, men sharp. Are
And
you still following me?
I like soft. That's why I like drawing women.
Exactly. Women are more rounder in anatomy. They use a lot of circles everywhere. As you can see, there's a lot of circles. Oh, yeah, okay. I'm not. you can see
You do more circles.
There's circles here, ovals here. Probably a circle right here too. They're like. You could probably also like fit an upside down triangle here, but as you can see, I use a lot more round lines for when it comes to women. Now, when it comes to men, I like to think of them as either an upside down triangle or a rectangle. I like to think of men as rectangles. They're rectangles. All right, you see rectangle.
A brick.
A brick, you know. Or you could also show it as like upside down triangle too. Just understanding what shapes make up a dude is very helpful. So we got like a triangle here. We got another. Sorry, it's not a triangle. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm a little stupid. We got like another rectangle here.
It's the trapezoid.
Trapezoid more so, right?
Maybe.
But as you can see, well, like the woman is more curved. Like as you can see, ovals here. The man, you see more rectangle.
Strong shapes.
Rectangle. Very strong shapes. Very bold shapes because you know. In anime, men bold, ikemen bishojo. Take me away, my handsome prince. So as you can see, lots of very angular shapes. Men angular. Look at how strong that jawline is.
That is a very sharp
jawline, as you can see. So yeah, okay. So once you boil it down to just shapes and what like creates a guy, you can apply that to a girl. You can make things more and more angular, more like leaning towards that, more wide, and you'd be getting close to what we got as a guy right here. So there are some anatomical differences between a woman and a man. So men, broader shoulders. Guys got broader shoulders. This is like more skeleton-wise. Broad shoulders. They got wider arms than women do because of like muscles and stuff, like all that like anatomy shit. Wider muscles and stuff. You got wider everything. A lot of it is very wide. You see, look at his fucking thighs. Those are thunder thighs. Look at them, man. He's kind of built. I wish I was that built. I could probably give him a 6-pack right now. Hold on.
Do it. Oh.
Wait, this is a 6-pack. Okay, wait, no, that's an 8-pack. Okay, we're doing a 6-pack.
Yeah, it was too many.
Now, if I give him an 8-pack, I'll start to feel jealous. Anyway, yeah. Okay, so he has a wider waist. As you can see, it's about wide waist. He has wide waist. Okay, actually, I feel like the woman is hold on.
I think he has a wider, like the way you drew it, he has a wider stance.
Definitely, it takes up a lot more room. You know, his presence is very, very intimidating. Actually, I don't really like the way I drew him.
You drew it. You drew someone who's
so intimidating. He looks like he'd beat the shit out of me. Smaller heads, of course. Men got smaller heads in comparison to their body. Okay. So a lot of anatomy and anime is very, very like exaggerated. A lot of it is extremely, extremely exaggerated. They're just building on features that already exist. So what I like to think of it as, you can't use anime proportions to draw real life people, but I feel like you could use real life proportions and just exaggerate them a little bit and you get like something like anime. So yeah, women have larger head. So yeah, we also got more muscles. Again, shape language, angular. Like the body is definitely a lot bigger than the head. We're once again using like the 7 heads, thing. So 1 head, 2 head, 3 head, 4 head, 5 head, 6 head, 7 head. Well, this one's 8 head, but you don't have to. It doesn't have to be like completely 7 head thing. But
it's close.
It's close enough, honestly. Hands also. It's pretty much the same thing as a woman. Hands should reach the mid thigh.
Oh, I knew that one actually.
We got thicker, they got thicker necks too, broader necks. The collarbone thing here is a lot more pronounced. Definitely a lot more muscle mass. When you come to think of it, I can literally just break it down into shapes. You got his rectangle body. You got his pecs. He's got pecs. I really recommend just going ahead and studying like just the shapes in general. And once you study like the components of what makes it do, I'm pretty sure you could just draw this torso out of memory. So you got the very rectangle body, and we got the pecs right here, how they're kind of attached right here. You know, pecs are just like boobs. They're like boobs, but like manly boobs. All right.
They're in like I guess a quarter of the torso is like how much space they take up.
Really?
Roughly.
Around that. Like 1/4 of the torso. Yeah. Like think of boobs. Like if you know how to draw women boobs, you'll be able to draw men pecs with ease. You know, they're like boobs, but like man,
sharp,
again, sharp boobs. We got the sharp boobs.
Kim Possible.
Yeah, there are a lot of good tutorials on like the differences between men and women. When it comes to drawing different body types, it's all about just using different shape languages. While this dude, if we want to draw a thinner dude, like a femboy, we'd probably still use rectangles, but the stance would probably be like, it would probably be a lot thinner all around. It's really just making them thin muscle mass, reducing a lot of the muscle like on the chest and stuff, making the calves a lot thinner, maybe making him a little shorter. Who knows? He doesn't have to be too short, but like if you want to make him like, I guess it all comes down to a basic understanding of how muscles work. If you want to, well, it doesn't have to be too complicated, because a lot of what anime does is really simplified. A lot of it is really just simplified and exaggerated. Think like normal cartoons. So once you got a basic understanding of where muscles are supposed to go, where things are placed, you can just shift those around wherever. But yeah, this is a pretty feel free to save this. Feel free to go ahead and save like the differences. Okay, so we got let me see if I can write this down for you. Yeah, let me just write down small head. Well, it's just in general more angular. He's got thicker forearms. You got the thick forearms. Yeah. So actually, if you look at it really like closely, there's not too many differences. Just really like these are kind of the same legs, but just these are way more rectangular. These are more curved.
More rectangular and like wider stance.
Wider stance. You know, he's confident. This lady, like she looks like she means business. I'll be completely honest with you. She looks like she means business. But still, yeah, a lot of what you can see in female anatomy can apply to male anatomy, but you just have to understand like the very basics of what everything should look like. Like I could probably take this woman right now and probably adjust a lot of things, and it could become a guy. So you just really need a simple understanding of where everything goes, because men and women are pretty, like they're different, but pretty much the same when it comes to basic things, like how, like proportion wise, like how long should, like with the exception of the head, still hands reach in the same area, crotch is around the same area. Legs, they still have the same like sort of calf, like the calf is brought out more, you know. I will be honest with you, I do not draw guys, I draw cute girls. That's my thing.
You did a good job with that one. So it sounds like the same print. They're both 7 heads.
Yeah, they're both pretty much 7 heads. Too. Like, okay, so let me see if I can take a little gander at this right now. I'm probably explaining it really bad. Okay, so we got the size of her head. Okay, we got 1 head, 2 head, 3 head, 4 head, 5 head, 6 head, and pretty much perfectly 7 head. Perfect. Now it doesn't have to exactly be 7 head, but I'm gonna say like around the 7 head mark is where everything, like around the 6 head, like, you know, it should be where the rest of the body.
6.5 to 8.5.
Can you tell I don't know how to draw feet? I'm not a foot artist, okay? We're just gonna erase their feet. No more feet for them. No more feet.
You're just getting rid of them.
Just gone. Gone. No more feet. Actually, 1 second.
How
Sorry,
upsetting.
give me like 1 second. I'm just like adjusting something. Okay, there we go. Whew. All right. Anywho, yeah. Okay, so I feel like there's a lot of things that I don't need to point out, but for like rounder dudes, you would obviously like want to use a lot more circles. I would still say make everything very broad. Make everything very broad, but if it's like more like a has more of a belly, I'd say use a lot more like softer shapes to communicate that he's squishy. This guy looks like I could punch him and I'd probably break my fist. All right.
You hurt your hand. I like squishy.
Yeah. When it comes down to character design, it's just shapes to communicate what the character is like. So like if the character is rounder, you know, you guys gonna be more of like a softer character. Definitely, it can be attributed to a lot of things. But this guy looks like he'd kill me. Honestly, I'm a bit afraid looking at him. Yeah. So that's kind of like the very basics of it. The very basic. I've explained it in such a basic way because listen, I had to learn this in under 24 hours. I'm doing
No,
my
it's
best.
very helpful because I'm coming from the same place as you, where it's like I just only draw women pretty much, so I have zero experience. I'm starting from zero for drawing guys, so it's still helpful. And I feel like I've kind of done the shape thing before, where I, you know, start my sketches from just general shapes rather than you know, anything very concrete. But then when I try and like change the pose, it's a problem. Because
Yeah.
I have that problem with stiffness again, but I guess you just have to practice from like conventional poses, like what you've drawn a lot first, and you can start branching out.
I'm trying to grab some references on some guys just to show you. Like, okay, not that one. Let's see. We gotta line up here. Yeah, we got something of a line up here. Okay.
Like a police lineup.
No, not like not like that. I hope not. And I've done too many illegal things. I'm wanted in like 5 states.
No, I thought you meant a police lineup of guys, silly, not of yokis.
I'm wanted in like 5 states for multiple counts of home invasion. When you're a yokai, you don't really need to knock, you know?
Oh yeah, you're a ghost, so that's fine. You can just go through walls.
Okay. Also, something that I've noticed is that women pretty much 1 second, I completely lost the studio. Okay. Women pretty much, their shoulders are pretty much like nearly the same size as their waist, so they have a more like hourglass shape.
Hourglass.
Men, they're kind of like triangles in which their hips are a lot like less, like a lot smaller than their
They get narrower.
Yeah, a lot narrower. They get narrower as they go down. Okay, a lot of their focus is up here towards the shoulders, you know. And women, they have like an equal amount of focus for like right here, you know.
Okay.
Moral of the story: draw women.
I mean, I agree with you. I don't know. I feel like a fraud because I
also feel like a fraud
I can't draw
because
guys.
I'm learning this today. Like I think this is a pretty successful attempt at it, dude.
Oh, absolutely. It looks fantastic. No, you did a great job learning in a very short amount of time.
Oh, that's also scary still. Oh, hold on. Maybe I can make him like...
Give him like a goofy expression.
Yeah, I got it. Hold on. Give me a second. One second. There it is. I got it. I got the perfect expression to give him.
Oh, okay. Oh god. Are you giving... I think I already recognize.
My pen lagged. Okay, there you go.
Is it the... what is it? The... the Yaranaika. What is this?
You'll see in a second. There you go. wait, hold on. There you go, last thing.
Oh, oh my. That's goofy, alright. I like how you're adjusting it so so you're trying to get perfect.
Yep.
I would say that's still kind of threatening.
You think so?
Yeah. I
How's
think
this
that might
tat?
be more threatening.
How's this chat? Do you think this is the threatening face? Do you think this is the threatening face, chat? Yeah. Perfect, beautiful. It's threatening in its own way. What do you feel like this man's gonna do?
I don't know, and that's the problem. He's unpredictable.
I'm scared. Why are you guys scared? This is the most relaxing expression. What do you mean you're scared? He seems like he's doing something sus. I don't think so. Look at him.
I can't make that expression.
He's the boss of this gym.
Well, he's a gym leader.
Oh my god.
Like a Pokemon.
Yeah, like a Pokemon gym leader. I don't know. I'm leaving that expression on him.
Okay.
I'm leaving it there. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Okay. Now he feels a lot less threatening to me. Okay. Alright. But now you also wanted to learn about men face. Okay, we got a face of a man here. We got a man face here. Alright. Whew! Alright, so I have some things to explain. I don't have enough images for this. Oh wait, hold on! Wait, I completely forgot what I was doing before. We're going to backtrack on the man face. We're backtracking. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Ikemen face. We go back to the man face later. I was going to show you examples of guy bodies, so you understand.
Oh wait, you had the lineup.
Yeah, I had the lineup and then I lost it. Yeah, okay, this one works. Save image. Will it let me? Oh no, it's not gonna let me. Okay.
Is it a webp?
Yeah, it's a WebP.
I knew it! I knew it!
Yeah, I can't import it into Clip Studio. So I'm gonna... Sorry, Duke, I'm gonna send this to you so I can save it for myself. You know, because Discord loves me significantly more. There we go.
It's the WebP's fault.
It's the WebP. It's WebP. WebP? More like web... bad.
Who? Oh.
Oh, that too. There's a lot of things I could have said. Oh wait, no, I don't want to save it as that. What am I doing? Export. Wait, no, export. No, open. Sorry, no, import. There we go. Sorry, I'm a bit dumb when it comes to this. All right, here we go. We got men. We got men. You see all of these men? Look at all those men.
Oh,
it's a lot of
yeah.
men.
There's an office worker, another office worker, and then there's an office worker, and then there's a doctor, and then another doctor, another office worker.
I think they're all like hosts. They look like all I don't know where these guys are from. I have boy band. Yeah, okay. Web poop. Okay, so as you can see, triangles, triangle, 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 fucking triangle. All of them are fucking triangles.
They're all triangles.
Yeah, they're all triangles. But I was like, you can see how like rigid and how rectangular all of them are. I'm pretty sure most of these guys are wearing shoulder pads. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. But if they're not, they are all rectangles. I don't know my shapes. I failed geometry. Anyway, I did not. I promise. But still, yeah. So as you can see, there's like. You can see the shape language of all of them still like having the very rectangular stuff. If it was a woman, it'd probably been much more curved. Probably.
Yeah, even their legs are like very straight.
Yeah, all of it
and
is
the ones that are more
straight.
dynamically posed.
Yeah, it's still very straight. They don't have much thigh on them. They don't got much meat on them. They don't got the schmeat on them, unfortunately. But you can still see the shape language still comes into play. They're all angular, all very angle, much all angle. Look at how your cheekbones aren't really that sharp.
Yeah, it's a little bit. That's kind of like just like a V,
something like that. They have longer faces. Is what I will say. And I will get into that in the face section because we're going to show you how to draw anime Ikemen faces. Thank you very much. Your time is very valuable to me. Okay,
Did you ever have one of those books, the How to Draw Anime books?
Oh my god, wait. Actually, I saw a lot of those books. I never personally had one. Okay, there's a bunch of images that I'm going to like show here. Give me a second. Duke sent me a bunch of images for this lecture right now.
Oh, how helpful.
Very helpful, right? These are exactly what I need to explain. Oh, well, this could have been useful in the body section, but it's not anymore.
Did you know you guys are all made of triangles? Well, not all of you, I guess. I don't know who's a dude in the chat and who's not necessarily, but that means you guys are made like Dorito chips.
Potato chip?
Dorito, like
Dorito
specifically Doritos because they're triangles.
You guys are all Doritos. You guys are all triangle now. I can't believe all of you are triangle. Okay, so here, as you can see, what are the first few things that you notice about this face in comparison to a woman's face?
The eyes are very they're kind of like flat, a bit less wide, I guess. And the eyebrows are look closer to them than what I would expect. The nose is very pronounced, and the neck is like about as wide as the face.
Okay, very good observations.
Yay!
Alright, okay, so let me just pull up the notes. Okay, wrong notes. Okay, closing this window. Okay. Alright, back to my notes. Alright, so men's faces usually have, as you stated before, longer noses. They have a more defined jaw. They have eyes that are higher up on the faces compared to women. Yeah, they're just higher in general. Okay, so one little trick I like to do is that in terms of like eye shape, when you want to communicate that a character is more mature, I would recommend making their eyes smaller and higher up, because that can show all of the difference between a kid and somebody that is more mature. And also, it's a dude's face. Okay, so let me just pull up a explanation so you see what I'm talking about.
The side view.
The side view. Don't worry, I have one of those too. I'll explain that as well.
The pain of my existence.
So, this goes from child to adult. It's all the distance on the face and how close it is to the eyebrows. The closer it is to the eyebrows, it shows more age and shows more maturity. So we're about over here, where the guy is way more mature. But if you were trying to convey a child, it would probably be over here. Or just a younger person, more innocent person. Doesn't necessarily have to be a child. It can be somebody that's just more innocent. Again, this is why I say level of maturity, not necessarily age. So this space right here, how close the eyes are to the eyebrow will definitely convey a lot of different things. So we're going for ikemen guy, which is very, very ikemen, very mature,
masculine.
Very I will princess carry you sort of thing. We love him. Okay, so that means the distance from the eye is going to be a lot shorter, because since he's more mature, his eyes are going to be higher up on the face, which will show us a lot more difference than if they were lower on the face. Like, for example, let me circle these. You're over here, right? Okay, I'm gonna lower these like a lot. It's probably gonna look really weird, but it's gonna look really weird. I probably would have to draw a completely different eye. All right, let me see. Let me layer, duplicate layer. Trust the process. Okay. So if I were to draw him eyes like he looks like Sid. I'd have to actually put some effort into it, and that's what I'm not doing right now. Okay.
No, it looks good. It's like perfectly illustrating your point of looking.
Yeah, it does
like younger. That's.
It also comes down to eye shape too. Again, his eyes, we make men angular in this house. So as you can see, his eyes more angles. He looks like he wants to die. Me too, honestly. Anyway, yeah. So there's a lot more points. Eyes are definitely a lot thinner. Definitely conveys a level of maturity. Higher up on the face. Everything is more elongated when it comes to dudes. Everything is long. Just think long, okay? Okay?
Long, man.
Long, man. I remember that commercial series too. It is amazing. Yeah, everything is kind of just longer. I don't really know how much else to explain it. So like changing up the face, like this is also pretty useful if you just want to study like facial like proportions and characters too. Oh, why did I do that? I could have just erased this one. Hold on. Anyway, yeah, so if you were to, okay, it's a woman's face more so. You can already see it. It's a lot smaller, a lot more compressed.
Cute.
Cute. The mouth is smaller. Yeah. Look at him. Everything's smaller. Look at him. Very quiet.
So kawaii.
So kawaii. Yeah, so as you can see, this is definitely not a face that you would probably see. I have a crab. Oh my god. Why does he look like this? Yeah, so as you can see, women's eyes are a lot bigger. The mouth, the nose is smaller. The mouth is smaller. This part of the face is definitely a lot smaller, but this part of the face is bigger. When it comes to guys, this part of the face is definitely a lot bigger than the eyes would be, which is probably the best way to describe them. So man eyes smaller, nose longer, bigger, mouth longer, bigger. Focus on this part.
Yeah, I was gonna say the distance from the distance of the eyes from the mouth really.
Yeah, exactly. The distance of the eyes
show
from
how
the
like
mouth.
much longer.
Yeah, right
it is.
here. So this circle right here is a very important, like a triangle circle. Okay, I continue to astound myself with how little I know of shapes. Okay.
It's okay. I can see it. I can see it.
So from the bottom of the eyes to the mouth is very, very important. Like, the smaller it is, then I feel like the younger the character kind of looks. Yeah, so eyebrows also very important in the character design. Usually guys got those thicker eyebrows. I'm not really exactly sure why. I mean, it can change. Well, like when it comes to anime, I think eyebrows are kind of thin, but you know.
It's true. I mean, guys just have like, generally speaking, have more hair.
More hair on there. Like yeah, more hair everywhere. Yeah, so you could do that, or you couldn't. You can give your dude a beard. Oh, come on, I'm not even gonna lie. Hello, sir.
Good facial hair. Why is he sparkly?
Sorry, I have a taste in men. I have a specific taste in men. Do you understand?
Mr. Clean.
Mr. Clean. How did you know? How did you know?
I like Mr.
Clean? How did you know? How did you know? Or the. You're actually very right. You're very right. Mr. Clean. Kiryutsa! From Yakuza, yeah. Anime girls and a bald man were a match made, and I don't think I'm allowed to say where they were match made, and we're going to avoid that topic as much as humanly possible. So, min points. Let me just go over my min points again. It's really difficult to explain in anime, especially in like words where I don't have a script. You know what I mean? Let's see. Okay, yeah, shapes very important. Shapes very important. Okay, so I forgot this face was here. It scared me. When did I draw this? Anyway, okay, so I'm just gonna go over my points one more time. It all comes down to shape language and understanding what shapes make up a character. The fundamentals of character design are using shapes to convey a character's personality. In anime, that's pretty watered down because a lot of the time you don't really need shapes to convey a character's personality. When it comes to like their outward design and their appearance. But if you're like, it definitely comes in handy when you're doing different body types, you know. So when it comes to men are triangle and rectangle, you know. Triangle and rectangular is very angular. Every guy is more angular. Very many angles. Women are very flowy, very more circles. Okay. Broader shoulders, wider arms. Waist is definitely going to be smaller than the shoulders. while women, they have probably approximately the same amount. In this example, it's not necessarily, but usually, most of the time, it's around the same amount. They definitely use a lot more curves when it comes to them. Like the thighs are oval too, for while the thighs for the man would be more rectangle. Guys, more like angular everywhere. When it comes to the face, they have like more angular jawline as well, you know, and they're just overall taller. And their muscles are going to be more defined. So like things like here, and their massive pecs and their muscles like here, right here, they're going to be definitely a lot more defined than they would be with a woman. So when thinking about facial proportions, it's pretty easy. The smaller the eyes, the more mature the character. Like, not only is smaller the eyes, the higher up the eyes are on the face, the more mature the character. But keep in mind, like, the distance from the eyebrow. For like a more naive character, the distance would probably be greater. It just all depends on like what sort of the personality your character has. It doesn't necessarily have to be this like for all guys, because you know they come in all personality flavors. So yeah, men usually have longer noses, more defined jaw, and eyes that are higher up on the face compared to women. Also, a lot of the focus is directed at the nose and mouth when it comes to like things that are big. Because women have small nose, small mouth, and like most of the focus is on the eyes because the eyes are bigger. Mind you, this applies to anime. Okay, women can also have like bigger noses and stuff, but this is what happens when we're talking about ikemen anime, and you know, like very very basic stylized anime style. You know, I want you to know this does not apply to real life humans. A lot of this is extremely exaggerated. All right. But yeah, you could take a little later and just make a few tweaks when it comes to like their stance, their posing, their overall shape language. But this entire explanation is pretty limited in terms of body type, especially since I didn't have enough time to like fully explain like what like all the body types are like. I would have drawn it 100%, but that would take a lot of time. But yeah. This is very anime in terms of proportion. Again, my style is mainly anime, so I explained it to you in an anime way, the way I know it. But this would definitely be a lot different when it comes to real life, because women can have big noses too, bigger mouths, smaller eyes, you know, that sort of thing. But this is just, you know, anime proportion. Ikemen is handsome. Exactly. All different shapes, but this is like animated. This is drawing. You're going to use a lot of shape language to, you know, get your point across clearly, because that's what humans do. We like patterns. Humans' brains are more patterned than anything. Yeah. So no, yeah, I can hear you. Okay. Sorry, there's a person in my chat that really likes to pretend that people are muted. Oh, wait, they can't hear you? You're right, they can't hear you. Oh my god, wait, hold on. She's muted on stream? No, she isn't. What the? Wait, yes, she is. Okay, wow. Okay. I can hear you perfectly well, Ellie. Don't worry about it. It's okay. It's probably just like something with the audio. Okay. Oh, I see why. Don't worry. Apparently, the audio reverted to the old audio thing. It's so strange. Like in OBS, it just reverted to the old thing. Give me like 5 seconds. That's so strange. Oh, okay. Hold on. Should we fix once I? Please, Discord. You're not gonna do this to me today, right? Not today. Any day but today. Oh, there we go. Okay, you should be all good now, Ami.
Oh, hi, hello.
Oh, that's loud.
Can you hear me now? Sorry.
It's okay.
Is it? Are we back?
Okay, got it. Okay,
got it. Thank you.
Got it. You're welcome. Okay, I think I know why. I think it's because I looked at another another chat for like 5 seconds. But yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ami voice is back. We missed you.
You fast
Ami.
acted. I would have been so panicking.
This happens a lot. I have so many technical difficulties. They don't even phase me anymore. It's kind of what my chat expects at this point. They're like, "Oh, this is a Yoki stream."
Well, you resolved it very quickly. I'm impressed.
Sometimes you just gotta. It is what it is. Listen, that's my motto to life. It is what it is.
It is what it is. I don't know how much you guys heard. I was just saying that real people is not just circles and rectangles. Real people are all different shapes and sizes, you know. But for anime,
yeah, a lot of people have very patterned brains, so they'll usually attribute things to like shapes and stuff because that's what we're most comfortable with. So that's why we're kind of explaining in shapes and everything, because it's how you. I'm a dodecahedron.
Do you know what a dodecahedron is?
It's like the things you use in like the die you use in D&D, right?
Oh yeah, I think I don't know if it's a D20 or a D12 or what.
I don't know either.
Which one it is? I think it's a D20.
Real people are made of sausages. That's me for real. D12. Okay.
Oh, it's a D12. Oh, good job, you knew.
Yeah, no, like I was thinking, I was like, yeah, so it's that. I don't know anything about D&D though. That's the thing. I've never played it in my life. The one time I did try to play with a group of friends, the group of friends all got mad at each other and dissipated before I could learn what to do.
Oh no!
Yeah,
I think you need to try again. That's not how D&D usually goes.
I don't think so. But I've never tried again after that. It sounds interesting, but like
it sounds like a bad first experience.
People are very passionate about it from what I've seen. Like I've seen people be like, "Oh, my D&D session is like 20 minutes. I have to go prepare." Like, "Oh wow, okay." Like sessions, it goes in sessions.
Yeah, that's usually it's like, you know, if you're straight up, if you're doing D&D and you're like not having fun, then you go to the DM and be like, I'm just straight up not having a good time, and they'll usually be good and like, you know, change some stuff up and.
You're right, Isrin. Exactly. Hi. Okay, so there's another question we have after this. I think I went over all the points, but anybody else have any other questions?
In the chat. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do in their brain. It's like hard to. I had this problem when I was trying to think of questions. You know the problems you run into when you draw stuff, but it's hard to like
put it into
that
words
in a way that people can answer.
I
put it into words, but like put it into like this. Like you have to identify what problem you're having, right? Typically, I feel like,
you have to identify like the sort of problem you're having, even if it's not necessarily a question. I think I could figure it out. Like maybe an example.
Oh, I see a question.
Oh, I see. Do you think there's a good subject to start drawing for practice other than stuff you like? No. I mean, there's many good places to start. I know a lot of really popular illustrators now that have started by doing backgrounds and environments. There's no specific place that you have to start. But I would personally recommend just going with whatever you like to draw and learning how to draw what you like to draw. And
I feel like from a motivational point of view, at least.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to be more motivated to work on
to
stuff if you like what you're drawing.
It's pretty counterproductive to start anywhere else, honestly, because like, what's the point if you're not motivated to do it? Maybe starting from like figure drawing and stuff like that and learning how to draw fast. You can go more outside your comfort zone when you're confident. Yeah, exactly. Just like that. Once you're pretty sure that like you got your anime girl down, you could start going out of your comfort zone. Like for me, it was backgrounds and stuff like that. Hold on, let me show you. Let me give you an example over here. You're gonna have to.
Like, I cannot draw backgrounds. I'm still very much.
So what I'm gonna show you is around the place where I feel like I got confident enough to draw women. That I decided to go ahead and start doing more backgrounds. Give me a second. Yeah. Give me this artist. Give me this art. That's my art, actually. Artist, that's me. Hello. Yeah. Okay. Now that I've saved it. Okay. File. Okay. Here. I
Whoa!
didn't do necessarily much of a background, but this is around the turning point where I felt like, okay, I'm confident enough in the like my way of coloring and shading
Cool.
and anatomy that I probably change a few things now, but I think I can move on to more complicated, like complicated.
That's so epic.
Yeah, complicated. What's it called? Compositions. So, the next thing I kind of tried was a really simple background that that helped me with perspective and stuff. This one right here.
Cute! I love that one. I saw that.
And as you can see, my style is still growing and changing as I do this. So it's not like all like set in stone. Like you can still improve subconsciously. But I was trying
She's
to
like,
go out of yeah. Yeah, so she's opening the door and I decided to finally go out and actually render a background. As you can see,
it looks great.
Decided to sit and stuff, everything, and actually put a little more effort into the background just to figure out like how figure out the ropes. Obviously it's not the most perfect thing in the world, but I'm pretty proud of it.
It's so cute. And it evokes a specific it evokes the specific like feeling. Which is really
what I was going for. She's really cute.
It's perfect.
This is a commission, by the way. She's so cute. I loved her a lot. And then art went more towards backgrounds. Like I kept trying to experiment with it as I went. Like there's this art where I was doing more of like an above perspective, and then as you know, like the Ina art where like she has like a fully fledged background, like right like here with like a like a little ame, kura, kirara, kale, that sort of thing. So this is where I'm moving out of my comfort zone. I felt more confident in my ability to draw people, so I went in ahead and I was trying to study backgrounds. So you don't have to start in a specific place, but once you're confident enough in drawing what you like, then you can start going out of your comfort zone and drawing things that you don't like. But if you don't have to necessarily draw things that you don't like. Nobody's stopping you. If you don't want to draw backgrounds ever, then you don't have to. But I really admire like situational pieces where the anime girl is in a situation rather than just posing.
I like that too.
Though, yeah, I love situational stuff like that, which is why for this this commission right here, I was like, okay, she's gonna be opening this door. I liked it a lot. But yeah, I kind of went back when I was doing the Kisaki art, like here, like she's just standing there, menacingly.
Well, it doesn't all have to have a background.
It doesn't all have to have a background. Sometimes you don't need it when it comes to composition. Like I could, but like I don't need to. She's kind of fine where she is right now. Yeah. So, with that out of the way, any other questions before I move on? Sorry, allergies are getting to me again. Yeah.
Oh no.
It's okay. It's summertime.
Season-changing allergies?
You want to know something? Fun fact about me, I have around 15 allergies.
What?
Yeah, I kind of lost the...
I hope it's not to anything precious, like kitties.
Oh
no!
Hold on, let me recount everything. Okay, so peanuts, deathly allergic. Egg whites, all shellfish, which includes lobster, clam, oyster. Was it clam and oyster? Are they the same thing? Probably not, right?
No, those are different.
Okay.
Those are different. But they're both shellfish.
Yeah, shrimp. And okay, so we got latex. I recently learned actually. We got dogs, cats, dust, pollen. We got my own sweat.
Wait, what?
My own sweat. Yeah, I kind of lost that one. I'm allergic to my own sweat. When I sweat, I start getting like hives and I itch.
That's so sad.
There's
your body is trying to hurt you.
It's actively trying to kill me. Yeah, I have many stories actually. You know, my dad seems to forget this all the time. So I still live with family, right? In this academy, this underworld economy, mind you. Oh God, don't even get me started. Anyway, so when I was younger, when I was around 5, I was a itty bitty yokai. My dad, fully knowing I'm allergic to peanuts because he is allergic to peanuts. He just grew out of his allergy, so I think probably the thing was like, oh, so I grew out of my allergy, of course.
Oh, that does happen.
Too. Yeah, exactly. But he grew out. But the thing is, he was like in his late 20s at the time. I was 5, man. So like I forget what age he is, but anyway, he was much older than me. So obviously it's understandable that he grew out of my allergy. But I was a toddler. I was like 5. I just got my diagnosis. Like, so he put a bowl of peanut butter cereal in front of me, and he was like, "You can eat that." I'm like, "Can I?" Because I have as much self-awareness as you could possibly have as a 5-year-old. So I know this bad. This will make me hurt. I'm not allowed to eat this. And I'm like, "Can I really eat it?" And he's like, "Yeah, no, go ahead." And then I ate it, and that was a really awkward trip to the hospital.
Maybe it's the type of thing where he was like, "Oh, if I expose her to like a little bit
yeah,
of time."
exposure therapy. But actually, the thing about allergies is they get worse the more you consume it. Exposure therapy is like, so the first time I had peanuts, I was only itching mildly, and it was like a lot of rashing. But apparently, according to the doctor, another exposure could probably lead to like death or something like that. Anyway.
Oh my god, I bet he felt so bad.
Fortunately, I got to the hospital. Like I got an EpiPen time. So I am still alive. Kind of. You know, I'm yokai. You know, as alive as I could possibly be.
Alive as a yokai.
But also a recent experience now. Is that my dad came home from work, and I'm like, oh, welcome back. You know, that sort of thing. And he brought candy with him. There was 2 chocolates in particular. So I know they were like small, like really small, so much so that there was no nutrition facts on them. They probably came from a larger box with nutrition facts, but these were like separate. Anyway, there were 2 different types of chocolates. I saw one that was gold and one that was silver. And like I forget which brand this is. Anyway, he's like, pick one of these and give the other one to your sister. I'm like, easy enough. So like I have decision paralysis, in which if I'm supposed to make a decision, I have to mull over it for a good 15 minutes. Now I finally like come to a decision, and I eat my chocolate, and my sister comes downstairs and she takes her chocolate, and she's like, she bites into it. She's like, oh my god, it has peanuts in it. I'm like,
oh no!
I was one decision away from death. That was a 50% chance I was going to the hospital. I just looked at my dad. He was like, whoops. I'm like, what do you mean?
Oh my god, what do you mean whoops? The thing about that too is if they came from the same company, it's like it's always possible that they could be processed in the same place where there is like peanuts. Oh, that's so scary.
I actually don't know if if this is actually just RNG or he's actually trying to kill me.
We need to bonk the Yoki dad. What is going on?
He's doing his best, living on the edge. It's like, does he want me to die? Ever since I was little, there's been a lot of like little tidbits in my life that like a lot of my chat will ask me, why are you still alive at this point? I come face to face with death every day. Like I'll nearly die, and I'll be like, oh hey, what's up? And he'll be like, yes, up, and then I won't die.
Oh, are you accident prone?
I'm extremely accident prone. I'm very clumsy. I am very prone to like gas getting trapped in my chest. Like occasionally when I eat something. When I eat an allergen. By the way, I'm lactose intolerant too. Anyway, when I eat like an allergen, too much of an allergen, that is like not fatal, during the night I'll get really bad gas. Not like gas like farting, gas trapped in me. Like I can't.
Thank you for specifying.
Yeah, no. Like I'm clarifying, because like gas can mean 2 different things. I just call it gas, but
of course we don't fart.
Yeah, anyway, I won't be able to like burp or anything, and that gas will slowly build up in my chest to the point like I woke up in the middle of the night and I genuinely thought I was having a heart attack, and I was like, oh, you know what? This is it. God, take me. It wasn't.
That hurts so bad. I've had that happen to me too. I'm like, I need to go to the hospital.
Horrible. Yeah, like it's like definitely a pain that you should probably go to the hospital for. But the thing is, it's happened to me so many times that I'm actually surprised I didn't realize that's what it was. I was like, okay, I'm having a heart attack. You know what? This is it. I'm ready. Like I've welcomed myself to this idea because of how much I come into contact. I was like, might as well make myself at peace now. Do I have any regrets? Yeah, probably.
Like, it's finally happening.
It's finally happening. But then, like, after a few minutes, when I realized I wasn't, in fact, having a heart attack, I walked myself downstairs, got some gas X, and I was all better, and I went back to sleep.
I do that with much more, much less, dire situations. I'm like, oh, I like, took my garbage out.
Yeah.
There's probably disease on it, and I'm probably and then I got sick 2 hours later. I'm gonna die because there's disease on my garbage, and that's how my brain works.
Do you
what you went through sounds actually perilous.
Oh god, it's like I don't I think people are more concerned as to how I'm just like so emotionally like numb to these things. Like I'll have a near-death experience, I'll be like, oh yeah, so this just happened. They're like, this just fucking what?
You're like, oh yeah, I almost died last night.
Yeah, only last night I almost died. And honestly, my chat has gotten to the point where they'll be like, okay, what else is new? But have I ever told you about my battle, how I lost to Burger King?
Oh god, you don't even have to. I mean, I want you to tell me, but you don't even have to tell me because Burger King is the most disgusting thing on the planet.
Okay, so here's what
I cannot
happened.
stand
By
it.
the way, I forgot to mention I'm allergic to all meat.
Oh my god!
I forgot that was pretty important, but I live my life without it. Like there's a bunch of meat substitutes, so like it doesn't even register to me. But yeah, if I eat meat, I will get nauseous. But Burger King is kind of the only fast food joint I can go to because they do have Impossible Burgers, and those are pretty fucking good. I've never really had a problem with them before. I ate them nearly on the regular before this event.
Oh,
So
you know,
anyway,
I think A&W has that.
I went to Burger Joint. I went by myself. I drove on my little scooter thing because it was pretty close. I just wanted to ride around the neighborhood, just chill, you know, get a little bit of vitamin D. I was stopped by a Burger King. I sat down and I ate in Burger King. I ordered an Impossible Whopper. I know it was an Impossible Whopper. It had the wrapping on it. Everything in the burger looked normal. The only thing that wasn't normal is how absolutely exasperated the lady was to see me. It's not like I've ever seen her before. She just looked genuinely absolutely like disgusted to see me. I wasn't even doing anything.
You were just a customer. That's
yeah,
all you did wrong.
I came in at an inconvenient time because I saw she was on her phone.
Yeah.
Honestly, I understand. She probably wanted to clock out already. It was probably near the end of her shift. Okay, I don't blame her, but I think she was a little too careless when handling the burger. It might have been like the lettuce, because you know when in Burger King, like how you can't really heat
The
your
foot lettuce.
Oh yeah, you can't really heat your lettuce. So like the only thing you can do is wash it, and it takes a lot of work to wash lettuce. So like they'll kind of just slap it, and that's probably most of the reason. Anyway, I eat this burger, feeling fine. I leave. Okay, I get home. Now the important thing to note is that my mother isn't home. She's not home at all because she went to go do something. So it's just me and my sister. My sister and I have a pretty like big age gap, so she's a lot younger than I am. So I'm just watching her. I'm watching out for her. Now I start feeling a pain in my chest, and I'm like, you know what? This is probably gas. I probably shouldn't have eaten that burger, but you know what? I'm gonna go get Gas X, and I'm going to like feel fine in a couple seconds. Because the thing is, again, I'm so used to this happening, I just do not feel anything anymore. So
You just live on gas.
I just keep on keeping on. Exactly. So I take a Gas X and I sit down, and no, I wasn't fine. 5 minutes later, I am on the floor in agony. Now I'm like, oh my god, this is like the worst pain I've ever felt in my entire life. Like I'm rolling on the floor. Like it is so bad. Like to this day, if you ask me what is the worst pain I've ever felt in my entire life, it was that. So I was like on the verge of crying, and I like my sister's also crying too, because she's like, are you gonna die? I wasn't gonna die, but like she doesn't understand what's happening, and like all she can see is like the only person in the house in extreme pain and like nearly like half conscious on the floor. So I feel really bad for her, what she would have thought. I tell her to call my mother, and like she's like, I was like, call mom, and she's like trying to call mom, but she's like sobbing. So like Siri didn't register. Also, she doesn't really know how to read yet, so she can't really type. So she's just trying to like call mom, but like Siri isn't really like, she's like everything else but
Siri
calling
can't
mom.
Understand her because she's crying.
Yeah, exactly. So like after 6 attempts, it's like we finally get through, and she's like, okay, you're gonna have to can you like manage for like a few more minutes? I'm like, okay, but please get home soon. 5 seconds later, right after she hangs up, here comes the projectile vomit. Like I'm throwing up everywhere. I must have thrown up like 10 times within the course. Okay, so like I'm vomiting, and I'm like, it's gotten to the point where I'm near dry heaving, and here's where like the savior of my life comes in. My mother's friend, who was trying to visit my mother, but she doesn't know that she's out. She comes home. She sees me lying next to a puddle of my own vomit. Clearly, like I'm delirious at this point. The pain is so bad that I'm not thinking straight. Like I'm sobbing. Like I'm barely getting any sentences out. That would definitely be like a ranked 10 on the pain scale. This little woman, she is shorter than me, and I'm pretty short. I'm pretty damn short. She's way shorter and skinnier than me, and she grabs me by the arms and lugs me to the toilet.
Oh,
Like,
what a sweetie.
yeah, she's just saying, like, the bathroom is small though, so when I hunched over, it makes the pain worse. So I took to vomiting outside of the bathroom. And even the funniest part about this story is that even though I vomited where like the door should be, like my head is hanging over like the ledge of the door, so I'm like right above where I vomited. And even though like I wasn't thinking straight, every part of my body was like, keep my hair out of the throw up, keep my hair out of the throw up. I cannot.
Oh my god, who
hair.
cares?
Like at this point, like I have more pressing problems, but I'm still doing everything in my power just to keep myself clean. Anyway, my mom finally like rushes through the door after hearing how bad it was from my mom's friend, and my mom is also much shorter than me. She lugs me onto her back and drags me to the car and stomps onto goes to the ER. Anyway, we're at the ER and she's filing out the paperwork. I swear to God, I was in the Shinji pose in the waiting room. Do you understand? Like sitting in the chair, like
In
I
the
was
chair with your head in your hands.
that was the
Yeah.
only position that gave me any form of relief. And I was pale. Like, I was genuinely, like, pale, cold, and shaking. I was like, okay, this is it for me. This is seriously it for me. Like, every other time, it wasn't it for me, but I swear to God, this is it. Anyway, after, like, I'm gonna say, like, 5 minutes, I get seen by the doctor, and he's like, oh, yeah, no, you just got a stomach virus. That's it.
Yeah, I
You just
feel like
got a
it's probably like food poisoning or whatever.
Yeah, no, you just got
It
a
really
stomach
is
virus.
like that.
He gave me a pill, a pat on the back, and sent me on my way. He gave me a pill, a bucket, and a pat on the hat. That pill was $600.
Oh. Oh.
America.
Oh, what? Oh,
pill-
okay. I
Well, the
I
pill
live
itself
on,
is
I live on
$200.
Omni-Planet, and like they like just give it to you.
Healthcare!
Oh,
It was a pill for
man,
the nausea
yeah,
too. It
food
wasn't like a
poisoning is-
cure-all.
Food poisoning is so painful. Okay, I was gonna tell you my Burger King experience.
Let me
doesn't
see it.
even
Let me hear
come anywhere close to that. I had a game where I played Sneak King, you know, the Burger King Xbox
Right.
game. So I just ordered Burger King because I was like, I'm gonna eat Burger King. And I was eating it. I had rodeo burger, I had chicken fries, and I had French fries. And I was eating it. I was like, this is not so bad because I always go on about how much I hate Burger King. And then 30 minutes later, I was like, I feel like garbage right now. But that's all. I didn't throw up or anything.
So underwhelming.
But I can vouch for Burger King being just it's always a mistake.
Yeah, the thing is, I haven't been to Burger King since then. Since that day, I remember like
Right.
commentating like to chat, like okay, so I'm in my Discord. I'm like, damn, I'm really going through it right now. While I'm on the floor, like it wasn't bad enough for me to like be like delirious as I was before, but like, oh my god, I feel so terrible. And, like my chat was concerned.
I'm sorry
Like-
you went through that.
Yeah, and then like 20 minutes late, like not 20 minutes later. This is definitely like 30 minutes to an hour later. Hey, just got back from the hospital, and everybody in the kids is like, what?
They're like, of course you did.
Of course you did. Yeah, but I haven't been
Aw.
back. I haven't been to Burger King since that day. Not because I'm afraid of that will happen again, but because I'm more embarrassed that I lost that fight.
Well, the people at Burger King don't know.
Yeah, they
that
don't
you guys
know.
work- Or maybe
don't
they
know.
do, unless it was on purpose.
It's more so the concept than anything. Like I lost to
Yeah.
Burger King. That's shameful. I brought
That is
shame on my
pretty
family. don't agree.
I'm sorry, I just don't like Burger King.
It's
at
okay.
all.
I don't like Burger King either. Burger King sucks. Anyway, yeah, Burger King. Hey,
Yeah.
okay, but yeah, okay. We're gonna move on to the next question.
Yeah,
I hope
anyway,
everybody.
colors.
I hope everybody liked the Burger King story. L King. Thank you for Burger King. Hey,
Burger King more like Boogie King.
Booty King. Very true.
Boogie, like a booger.
Yeah, maybe I'll go back for a round two. You'll be hearing my hospital story very soon. Anyway, okay. So your next question. We're gonna get to the last question on here. How do you choose shadow highlight colors? I've noticed some people seem to use a really dissimilar color for deep shadows, like a green for pink shadows or something. Is there a method to choosing this? Okay, so hold on. I got an image for this. I have an image for
Yeah,
you
I
here.
saw it on your picture of the girl with the fire, actually.
Okay, so let me
Too,
go back
on
to the
your
girl
shirt.
on the shirt. So red and purple. Okay, so there's a bit of a guide. Let me just explain in a way that I know, and then I'll bring out the references later. Okay, it all comes down to exactly what you're shading. It could either be it can either be like just the sort of material you're shading, or it can be what you want the main focal point of the drawing to, because shading is a very good, like a very, very important asset in trying to direct your attention places. Like your attention mainly goes to over here because of the more saturated vibes over here, and down here it kind of falls up a little bit. Like it doesn't, it's not exactly not saturated, but your eyes are immediately brought here because of how light it is, how like very vibrant it is. Okay, that didn't mean to do that, but still, whatever. Yeah, exactly. Things that are warmer in color need warmer tones for shadows. This entire drawing is very warm. I love working with warm colors, so a lot of the shade, like the shading I'll use is very warm. But for cooler colors, I usually use like this is a bit warm too, but you'll see for like over here, this is also a cool color. Cool color over here, you know, everything that like is like cold in terms of color, the cooler color goes along with it. Highlight, oh, okay, yeah, but yeah, so you know, you can already see over here, skin is very warm, very pigmented. When you look at skin, especially with this sort of skin tone, a lot, like, it'll be very pink because of, you know, the blood. There's blood under the skin, so skin very warm, you know. It also can depend on the sort of environment the character is in. Like, if the character is in like a more night environment, then probably the shadows, no matter whether it's the skin or anything, will probably be a lot cooler. I don't have an example for this specifically. Wait, nope, never mind. Yes, I do. I still used a lot of warm tones here, but you can see like some of the parts are like cool colors, especially when it comes to the shirt, because of the environment the character's in. If the character was in a more warm environment like this one, I probably would have used like a lot warmer colors. But not only that, so let me give you a reference. Hold on. Yeah. Give me a second to type. Oh, there! I already found it. Okay, so it's all about what colors work good with each other. So this goes hand in hand in color theory. And in the last art talk, I did explain a lot about color theory. Open. Okay, here, right here. So, purple goes well with red. As you can see, hold on. Let me see if I can bring out the color theory explanation. Give me a second. Okay, so I feel like when you shade, you want to use more analogous colors. Those are like colors that are next to each other. It's three colors that are next to each other, you know.
I was gonna say they're not really complementary.
It's not complementary because those aren't the opposite. It depends on what you're saying. There could also be stylization, so you can use the complete opposite to shade, but all depends on what you're doing. But mostly, I would use more analogous colors for color theory. And for those that don't know what analogous means, I don't know if you can see it over here. Hold on, I'm kind of blocking the way. It's three colors that are directly next to each other on the color wheel. For red, purple goes well. For orange, a darker red goes well. For yellow, a more orange color goes well. For green, a more blue goes well. For blue, a more purple goes well. For purple, a more reddish color of like a warmer reddish pink color goes well. For pink, a darker red goes well. For white, or you know, oh my god, they hit a Lenny face. I didn't even know that.
It looks like pearls.
They use the darker blue for white. For black, you're gonna use black, of course. For black, quote unquote. For gray, you could either use like a blue. You could use bluish color. It just all depends on what you're exactly shading. For brown, you could use a variety of different colors. As you can see, it goes from a warmer color to a cooler color, which is pretty cool about brown. You can see like this over here.
It's like the slate gray at the darkest.
At the slate gray at the darkest, but you know, also where the sun is kind of hitting, it's a lot more vibrant. Anyway,
more saturated.
Yeah, so that's how I pick my colors. I never really thought about this before because it just comes naturally to me. But once you have like a decent, no, don't worry. Once you have like a more decent grasp and understanding of color theory, it kind of comes to you. You know. So like, if I were to take a skin tone, like let me grab something of a skin tone right here.
I'm just kind of starting to learn about this stuff. Before, whenever I did shading, I would just go darker and less saturated.
Oh,
I don't know
less
why.
saturated. Okay, we're
Yeah.
focusing on the middle of the color wheel, but I don't really think you should less saturate your shadows unless
Okay.
it's like you can do it a little bit, but I prefer more vibrant shadows.
Okay.
So like what I would do is I would direct my focus to the middle of the color wheel. What you want to do is you want to come more to the center of the color wheel.
Middle.
So for like this, a brown like this works, but also you could also make it more red by like using a more analogous color. Over here, you're gonna move it just a little bit, and this also works too. You can lower this, but you can also like that sort of for darker skin tone, like a brown. Hold on, let me just. For a darker skin tone like this, you would probably use a more purple, because like it's more analogous. Hold on, but you also for like this sort of skin tone, you don't have to really saturate it too much. Oh, that's not. Yeah. Okay, so something more like this. This is actually a purple. This is purple. Actually,
It's just very
dark.
dark.
It looks very dark, but it is purple. But yeah, it's all about exactly what you're shading, where you're shading it, and you know, this, that, and the third. Hold on, let me refer back to the holy notes. I have to take notes too. I have a very disorganized way of speaking, where I speak on like a thing that, the first thing that comes to my brain, so it can lead to very, very bouncing conversations. But yeah, it depends. It also comes down to stylization too. Like this character isn't necessarily surrounded by anything. I don't know what, like there's a more yellow for shading. Like this is yellow. You wouldn't really use this to shade with for a person. It depends on like where the person is, what looks right. There's also no shame in just experimenting with what looks good. I like to use definitely like shadows that are more saturated. Like as you can see on the color wheel, this isn't more gray. How saturated it is depends on where like it is on the gray scale. If you use two like colors that are too desaturated, it can look a bit muddy and it can look a bit like gray and
Yeah, it starts all
tinged.
looking like the same color.
Yeah,
kind of.
exactly. But the more vibrant you make your shadows, the more vibrant your flat colors will be. So I recommend trying to direct your focus to the middle of the color wheel, but also not making it too lean towards gray. Using analogous colors for the color, like you try going out of like the color that you're already on is what I'm trying to say. Like if I were to go like use this red, I would try to lean the color more towards purple, like more towards the color next to it. Like instead of using a darker version of this red, which would probably look something like this, I would move it more towards purple, so it would look more something like this, and it's just overall makes it look a lot more interesting. Like this is a bit purple. It's more like in the pink range, but still. Anyway, yeah, it just interesting. It looks very good. It makes your drawing pop, and especially what you want to do is you want to shade more vibrantly around the places of focus, which would be around the face and stuff. It doesn't necessarily have to be like this, but like you can use more like saturated shadows, like desaturated shadows for everywhere else that you don't want the focus to be on, so that you know it just keeps things interesting.
Okay, so you don't have to necessarily have like there's no rule like for different parts on the body you can for example, say if one part you like go to a not tertiary, an analogous color,
I actually
and
forgot
you
how to pronounce it too.
make it a
Analogous,
little
yeah.
less saturated. That doesn't mean that you have to do the same thing on
Yeah.
other parts the drawing of that same drawing.
It depends on what sort of thing you're shading. What color do you think you would probably see on it? Like like your skin is like on your model is more of a cooler tone, as you can see. So your model shaded your skin with purple, a more cooler tone, because your color palette is just cool in general. While my color palette leans more towards warm. My skin is a warmer color, so my mama used the warmer color to shade my skin. And
it's like peachy.
Very peachy. So it depends on what you're shading. It depends on the color palette in which you're shading. What sort of thing do you want to communicate with your drawing? It doesn't have to. You don't. Oh, 1 second. Actually, wait. No, Yoki sis just brought me multi. Thank you.
Wait, a Malteser? You got candy? I'm so jealous.
Multi, yeah.
Oh, mochi! I thought you said Malteser. Oh. Aw, that's so cute. Sweet sister.
Thank you, Yoki says bye-bye.
She's like, so that one time you almost died. It really sucked from Burger King. Here's a mochi.
Yeah, okay, so she's just over there. Thank you for the mid snack. Okay, nice mochi. It's strawberry flavored.
I want some.
So I can't draw all these things in my head.
That's okay.
Kind of cold too. But yeah, do you get the gist of it?
Yeah, I think I do. Like, shading was another one of those things where I've just like kept changing my method to do it, and I think what I do now is a lot closer to what you just described. In the past, I would cheat a lot. I would like go to a multiply layer and just like shade everything in purple.
It's not cheating if you're using the functions of the program, okay?
Well, I mean, I wasn't like thinking about colors, I guess is the way to describe it. I was just like shading everything with one color on a multiply layer.
Exactly. You know, listen. Multiply layers are extremely useful because of what they do. They harmonize the colors a lot more than sometimes when you do it yourself. But once you get an eye for what needs to go where, like take a look at some multiply layers and what colors and how the multiply layers shifts the colors, and you can just color pick it with your eyes, get more of a good basic idea of like how it goes, how color theory works. You don't need a massive understanding of color theory. You don't need to know everything about color theory. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm more so understanding that like you can see visually what colors work well together, what sort of parts of your drawing you want to highlight, what the drawing is trying to convey, and I think you're pretty much good to go. But also, we have to talk about highlights too, and I would love to draw on this, but I can't because there's a mochi in my head. Okay, so highlights.
Yeah, take your time.
Highlights are just very reflective. They can be very stylized, but highlights are reflective things. Depending on the character, the environment your character is in, it will show in the highlights. So, like right here, a lot of it is very purple tinged. So I used a more purple highlight because the hair is literally just reflecting the light of the room on it. So it's going to be more purple. Over here, the room was more white, so I used a more white tinge with a little bit of a hair color still like seen in it. So it's a lot more bright because the room is very bright. For here, I used a more like orangey color. I probably would have focused it more over here in like retrospect because this is a bit of an old drawing. It's not too old, but it's older. So yeah, I probably would have made it more orange and focused it over here because mind you, this is like the hair reflecting off like the light that's hitting it. So it's going to be a little bit of that, like the color of whatever's hitting it, but it's also going to retain the color of the hair. But if your character isn't in any specific situation, like this over here, I kind of just made the highlight whatever I wanted to. It can I know a lot of artists that have a more neon hair, like the hair highlight like a complementary color, and that does pop out a little bit, but it all just depends on your style. It depends on your style. If your style is more like pop art, stuff like that, I would recommend going with a completely different color in order to make the hair pop a lot more. But if your drawing is more situational, you would probably want the hair highlight to show that they're in the situation. It merges the character into the background a lot more and makes them feel like they are in the background. Because, you know, the hair is literally just doing its job and being shiny. Look, for my hair right now, you can see that my hair highlight is yellow, which is a pretty good color paired with yellow, but since it's a VTuber model and not in any specific situation, my mama went ahead and used whatever color she'd like for it. And
is it yellow? It's like very pale yellow, right?
Yeah, very pale yellow. It's not blue at all, and it helps it pop a lot more. I would recommend trying to not make it just a lighter version of the hair color. You know, just try not to make it like a light blue. Instead, try to make it another analogous color. I would recommend, and just trying to shift it a little bit. If your character is not in a specific situation, that is, but you don't like the big poppy sort of completely different hair highlight, I would just make it analogous, a bright pale analogous color, and yeah, that should be pretty good. Oh, but yeah, Yes. Sorry, it's like melting in my hand.
No, that's
The
okay.
rice is
And
like
the
sticky.
highlight on your hair makes it like ties in with your outfit and stuff too, so it makes sense in the context of the design, I guess.
This is why it's important to like block colors too. Before my finished sketches look something like sorry, give me like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Typing with one hand is a lot difficult. More difficult than I thought it would be. Yeah. 2, 9. Is this it? Yes, okay, so my finished sketches look something like this. I don't really consider my sketches finished until I block out all the colors and the light and where I want it to be. That gives me like an idea of how oh my god, sorry. Something flew in my face.
Are you okay? Oh my god, I bought it.
Sorry.
Let me get it. But yeah,
Let me get it. Oh, yeah, there actually was a fly. Can you eat it for me? I'll eat.
No.
What says you're a spider? What happened?
I know, I offered to do it and I was like, actually, no. It didn't
Guess
sound
she's
as
not
appealing
hungry.
when you just asked straight up.
I got, you know what, honestly, that's kind of like the spider that hangs out in my room.
They're helping.
Yeah, they don't. Okay, so I had like a moth, Timothy. Like I named him Timothy.
You named it?
Yeah, I got really attached to him, so I named him. Actually, this is like Timothy the Second. I'm not gonna lie to you, because Timothy the First, what happened was during a Metal Gear Rising stream, I had him in my hand, and I accidentally squished him against the mic and killed him, and I had to have a funeral for him on stream. But Timothy the Second, I was very attached to Timothy the Second, so he kind of just chilled around my room, and then he flew into the corner where the spider was, and the spider caught it. And then there was a mosquito in my room that I couldn't catch, and the spider absolutely refused to catch it. Like, what's your job then?
Maybe,
like, what do you
had like a disease, like a bug disease. Oh, did you name it Timothy because moth is in Timothy?
No, I didn't. I just named it Timothy because that's the first name that came to mind.
Oh my god, I thought you were so smart first.
I also think I'm so smart. Thank you. Now I will proceed to pretend that's the reason I named it Timothy.
You are smart. You are smart, but I just mean like.
No, it's
I
okay.
thought you were name smart.
Oh no, I'm gonna pretend that's the reason I named Timothy. We're gonna pretend. Timothy from Doors? No, that's not the that's not the spider. It's the moth. I don't really remember what I named the spider, but yeah, no, that spider is kind of just chilling. I think it died recently. I haven't seen a lot of it, but you know.
Wow, you don't remember what you named the spider? Wow.
I don't. You know what? Because we had beef. We had beef when it wouldn't catch that mosquito.
That's fair.
Like I don't want to kill it. Like I refuse to kill spiders. I'm actually, I think they're cute, but from a distance.
Yeah, you just gotta take them outside.
Yeah, I'm the sort of person that would probably take them outside after like 30 minutes of hyping myself up. I don't want to smack them or kill them. I'm not that evil, because listen, they're just kind of just chilling too.
Also, it's kind of gross if you get like bug guts on your
Exactly. Why would I do that? Yeah, it seems more counterproductive to kill them, because then I would have to clean it. Exactly.
Yeah,
so
you gotta wash your hands.
Yeah, I gotta break out the spider. What the hell? No, don't do that.
Wait, what?
Oh wait, are you like saying
Minecraft?
Yeah, Minecraft. Okay, yeah. Okay, I thought it was like break the spider eyes.
Yeah, spiders are
so
bros,
evil.
not foes. Waifus apparently.
Bugs die in really horrific ways in my household. I remember I accidentally boiled a different moth. Like I was boiling pasta. Like I needed to boil pasta. I was heating up the water and the water was boiling, and I closed the lid over the boiling water, and I didn't realize I trapped a moth in there, and the moth boiled alive. My dad, however, who sees different, more horrific ways to kill bugs, he slapped a moth into, because we had a bit of a moth problem. It was not like a big full-fledged moth, it was like a really small white. Yeah, it was a small white moth problem. He slapped the moth into the toilet bowl and then peed on it and flushed it.
Ah!
Yeah, I felt really bad, like horrible. I had like a mini funeral. I felt so bad because like what a way to go.
What did he like tell you about it? He was like, I just peed on that moth.
What a way to
like
go. Like, why would you do that? And he was like, because it needed to be done. Like, no, it didn't. and I like to. We had a bit of an ant problem at some point because some of the caulk in the house needed like recaulking. So a lot of ants got through the gaps, and I sprayed like boiling water on them.
Well, ants are actually a really big problem, and my parents used to have at their house. They used to have huge problem with ants, and they're so hard to get rid of.
Yeah.
And there's just like hundreds and hundreds and
There's
hundreds.
so many of them. I remember I used to have like a trail of ants that would go up to my window when I was younger. Like they just kind of walked in a line from the floor to the window when I was younger, and I used to like just have so much fun just killing off the line. I killed generations of ants, by the way. So.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Your household is just like very, very dangerous for people like me.
There's like lots of bugs die in sad ways. Though I refuse to kill the bugs myself, though. Unless they're
Except when you spray boiling.
Well, there's a difference. I can mercy kill a bug. Like if the bug seems like too in such a bad situation that I can't physically let it go on, I kill it.
You're like, listen, my dad is gonna do worse stuff to you.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. I'm saving you from your fate. This was inevitable. You wouldn't have wanted my dad, so I feel like this is a good thing to do for you.
Oh my god, what did I do?
It was either me or my dad, and I'm pretty sure you didn't really want my dad.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Don't worry, Ami, you're safe. I don't kill bugs like that.
Thank you.
Okay. But hi. Yep, so color blocking important. Also, you can feel, by all means, color block what color you want the highlight to be. So like when it comes to like situation, you don't have to guess what it might be. Like as well as like the background too. By knowing what color the background is, you get a better idea of what color you want the highlight to be. So yeah. There's that, and that's pretty much. Once again, let me go run down through the points.
Wait, I have a question first.
Hi. Oh, what's the question? No, it's okay.
When you do like a sketch like this, are you doing everything on one layer typically? What is your?
Nope. So I start. No, it's okay. It's okay. I thought that's how they did it too. No, they don't. So I'd start out with a really like rough like sketch, like the lines you see here, and then I put all the flat colors under it. I can actually show you the process. Wait, can I show you the process of this drawing? I don't think so, actually. Wait, I lost it. I lost the drawing. It's gone. Okay, it's fine. It's gone forever. Whatever.
It's okay.
Let me see for this drawing right here. This is probably the best thing I can. I have the time lapse for this one, so let me do that for you, and I can show you the drawing part. Can you please like loan a little faster? Clip Studio, come on! I thought you were better than this. Okay, so all right, let me just share the screen right here.
Yeah, remembering to do layers is hard, and also, I kind of thought it was just you just don't do it with layers, because if you're painting like on paper,
there you go.
Don't necessarily have layers, right?
Yeah. So here, so this is what the drawing looks like. I start off with like a really rough like estimate, like a really rough sketch, and then I laid the colors under it, and as well as the lighting. So the end sketch looks something like this right here. Like this is kind of what the end sketch looks like. This is my finished sketch. And then under like on the flat color, I start like doing the shadows and the lights and stuff like that, and then kind of when that's finished, it looks like this around like this. So it's still very, very messy, but it's like definitely looks rendered. And then the rest of the process is just rendering. I like clean up the rest of it over it, and I just like, you know, fill in the gaps, make things look good, you know, that sort of thing. And you probably can't see because it's not close enough, but it's just editing things, making them look good, making them like
just like little,
adding the
little
effects.
tweaks.
Little tweaks. I'll probably add like filters and stuff around the finished like sketch stage. So yeah, no. It's I definitely start on more than one layer. Painting doesn't have to be on one layer. I usually do the rendering all on one layer. So hold on, let me show you. So this is a tweak drawing because I brought this canvas to another canvas. Like I on one layer, I brought this to a completely different canvas, and I did a little bit of like tweaking there. It's like anatomy wise, I brought like this higher and stuff. Things like I use the liquify tools on things I don't like. So this is beforehand, which doesn't look too different. You can probably see the before and after. I edited a bit of stuff, also added chromatic aberration.
Change the leg a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Change the legs like a little bit, you know, that sort of thing. But this is beforehand. This is before after the rendering process and before the rendering process.
Whoa!
And this is all on one layer.
So when you use liquify, does that like distort it in a way that you have to then correct after, or is it just good to go once you?
The liquify works in a way that like it's kind of like a brush, and it just moves things in the direction you're pulling it in. So like if I were to move this right here, it's just moving in that direction. I'm just kind of pulling it. Think of it like pulling or pushing. Like
so if you were to zoom in there, is it gonna? Cause like I'm familiar with like Photoshop's liquify tool, and it like it makes things like it distorts them in like a not so nice way.
Oh, like a okay, I understand what you mean. This liquify tool is not the same. I know like there's like a bunch of names for the liquify tool. This one is more like a it's not distort. It's more so just like a moving things around sort of liquify tool instead of distorting the entire drawing sort of liquify tool. So yeah, this is just essentially just it's think of it like a brush that moves things. Like the brush's entire purpose is just moving whatever it comes into contact with. So as you can see right here, see this brush right here, just push it. And I usually use it for more subtle corrections. Like let's say I wanted to make this finger thinner in the middle. I'd probably not like that. Okay, probably bigger. Like I'd probably push it more like this, like if the background.
Okay.
Yeah, no. See, it's very subtle. It changes things. If I wanted
so subtle adjustments. If you want to like move the arm position, then obviously.
Let's say I wanted to move the star from here to here. I would probably go something like that. You know.
Okay.
You know, it's more like just correction sort of thing. Yeah, so it's very, very simple to understand. The liquify tool is a godsend. I love the liquify tool. If you feel like things are like too strange looking, I do recommend using it to subtly put things back in place. Like if something's too thick, I would recommend like pushing both sides in. If things are too thin, I would push both sides out. But it does distort things in sometimes a way that's not really good, because there's a limit to what everything can do. Just play around with the size and how gentle you use it.
Okay.
Godsend liquify.
Yeah, it seems very different than Photoshop. What are the different modes? Cause I like.
don't know, actually. I haven't used Photoshop. I wouldn't be able to make a comparison because I've never used Photoshop ever before.
But does the CSP one have different modes?
Different modes? I don't.
Well, probably like different strength and stuff, right?
Oh, well, the strength well, actually, yes, it does. Hold on. Actually, I didn't even realize it does. I can. Okay, so there's push, which is the mode we're on now. There's expand, which would probably, you know, be...
Oh, it like blows it up.
Yeah, blows it up just like that. Yeah. Okay. There's like obviously narrow, where you would make things smaller like that. There's actually, what is this? There's push left, so it pushes anything that you are doing to the left, and then push right, of course. Twirl clockwise, and twirl counterclockwise. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. I usually use the push settings though.
the twirl one, I don't know why that tickled me so much.
I did it to the entire drawing.
Cool. Oh my god.
What's going on?
What's happening?
Did it just copy the entire drawing? Oh my god, it literally
Whoa!
just did.
What just happened?
Cool effect.
It's a wormhole. Everything is Star Trek to me now. I have to compare everything to wormholes.
Yeah, so it's useful.
Stuff.
Sharingan! Hold on, let me do it to the eyes. It's pretty.
It's the golden ratio. I don't actually know.
The golden ratio? That's definitely not the golden ratio.
No, I'm thinking of like the spiral.
Spiral.
Do you know what
good,
I mean?
Gurren Lagann.
It's like a not Gurren Lagann, but I do love Gurren Lagann. I'm thinking of like you know, like a nautilus, how it's like a mathematically the Fibonacci spiral. That's the one.
Fibonacci spiral? I actually forgot what that looked like.
It's just
When
like
I
a
think
swirly.
Fibonacci, I think I'm thinking of something completely different.
The Fibonacci sequence.
Fibonacci spiral. Ah, the Fibonacci sequence. Okay, that's a golden ratio. That's the golden ratio. The Fibonacci sequence.
Don't ask Yoki to do math. That's okay. I can't do math.
Don't ask me to do math.
I can't do math either. I just know that that's like a concept that exists.
Yeah, no. Have you seen the clip of me where I just tried to debate for 9 minutes about what the square root of 144 is? It was really embarrassing, actually.
Square root of 144. Let me think. Can I do it?
You could probably do it faster than I
It's
did.
definitely like it's more than 7 because 7 is the square root of 49. 100 and what was it?
144.
144.
I have to remember what the square root was first.
22.
No! She's just like me!
I just made it up. I didn't try to do any notes or anything.
Yeah, I can't do mental math. Like it's really impossible.
If I wrote it down, I could maybe figure it out.
You could probably
144.
Like
144 divided by x.
X plus x gets 144. What's x?
144, right? X times x.
X times yeah. My bad.
So 10 times 10 is 100.
Yes.
So it has to be more than 10.
Yes.
So it's is it not 22?
No.
10. And then to get 44 is it's not 5. Is it 6 times 6? Is that a thing? 16?
No.
This guy keeps saying numbers. Oh god, I'm panicking. Okay, so 10 times 10 is 100.
I got it wrong too.
And then to make 44 out of two numbers that are the same, you have to do 44. Let me think.
It's okay. I'm letting you think.
9 times 9 is 81.
I guess just go through the times
9
tables is what my chat recommended to me.
9 40. Go through the I don't know the times tables. 2 12.
Okay, start from 1 times 1, 2 times 2.
1 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4.
Okay.
3 times 3, or sorry, 1 times 1 is 1. 2 is 4. 3 times 3 is 9.
Yes.
4 times 4 is 12. 5 times 5 is 25. 6 times 6 is...
Wait, it was 4 times 4. Wait, no. That's 4 times 4 is 16.
16.
Yeah, I remember that. I also made the same mistake. I thought it was 12 too. You're right. Okay.
6 times 6 is 6, 12, 24, and 20, 30, 36.
Okay. Yeah, very
so
good.
But it's not 7 times 7.
Okay, 7 times... Yeah, no, it's not 7 times 7. Wait.
So what can it be?
What do you mean? We ended up on 36. That's nowhere near 144.
So what can it be? No, I know, but I'm not gonna be able to get up that.
7 times 7 is 49.
49.
Okay, yeah. 8 times
No,
8.
okay. I was thinking that I'm gonna figure out what the square root of 100 is first, and then I'll figure out the square root of 44. But I don't know if 44 has a square root. I guess it has.
A square root of 100 is 100. No, sorry. Square root of 100 is 10.
It's 10, right? So that's what I started with. But then I gotta figure out the 44.
Okay, no. You're working this out completely wrong. Where did this line of thought come from? What's the square root of 11?
11?
Sorry. What's 11 times 11?
11 times 11. 222.
Yes, you're right. It's 122.
Oh, it is!
Yeah, okay, so what's after that? 12 times 12 is...
I don't know. I simply don't know. I simply don't know.
Don't tell her the answer. Don't look at chat. They're telling you the answer.
What is it? Just tell me. I'm never gonna figure
That's
this out.
144.
What is the square root of 144?
It's 12.
It's what?
12.
12.
12.
I was close. I said 11.
You were, yeah. We did it!
Wait, was yours as bad as that?
It was so much worse. It took 9 minutes for me to figure it out. My chat was
I never
just yelling
figured it
at me. I was like, I had to figure out what square root meant first. Like I knew what it meant. I forgot, and then I was like, okay. And I was like, I don't know my times table. I went through my times tables, and it was really haphazardly.
No, I was not gonna figure that out. I was.
It's just like
you already solved it at the end of the 8 minutes.
I solved it because like I had a lot of information. I had a lot of help. I didn't solve it myself.
That your chat walked you through it.
Yes, they walked me through it like in baby steps. They were like, oh my god.
know,
One person
like
said that was the
number...
most painful 9 minutes of their life.
I have like a number. I just like cannot comprehend numbers. It's like
it's
like a problem.
Me neither. I'm so glad I've met somebody just like me. I'm not alone
yeah.
anymore. I thought it was just me. I thought I was just stupid. No. So no.
No, I mean you're not stupid because you don't understand one subject. I have a bunch of subjects, you know.
How does it feel to not be smarter than a 5th grader, Elmi?
I was also not smarter than a 5th grader.
Yes! It's just like me!
I tried several times too. I was like, I gotta beat the 5th grader. No, it never happened.
I beat them once.
thanks.
I beat them once, but only because I used a cheat once.
Do you guys remember? Did I ever beat the 5th graders?
I just did it once, and then I did it 5 more times. Okay, so here's how it went. I started the game, and I lost on the 2nd question of the 1st grade. And then I started over, and then I won, and then I lost 4 more times. So.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really embarrassing.
I don't remember if I ended up winning at the end of.
It's okay. It's okay.
Well, it's okay.
It's okay.
How do you do it, like English and history?
English and history and reading were my strong points, but when it comes to like
me too. Okay, there you go. There you go.
I genuinely, for the longest time, thought the longest hand of the clock was the hour hand, and I was in for a rude awakening when I got to a time question where they were like the long hand was on this number. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I know it's this, and then I got it so horribly wrong.
You're like, it's 30 o'clock.
No. Okay, so the question was, okay, so the long hand is on the 4, and the short hand is on the 6. And so I thought it was, okay, I was like, oh, it's 4:06. Wait, I was like, no, it's 4:30. I'm so stupid. And then, and I clicked 4:30, and it turned out to be like 6 something, like 6:20 something. 6:20. I'm like, what?
You know how to read an analog clock? Like if you see it?
Yeah, no, I mean, like I thought I did. Maybe I've been just reading time wrong my entire life. Like I was so confident. I was like, wait, no, I know this. This is easy. It was not easy. Maybe it was a small brain moment because I swear I've been reading it correct all my life, but now I don't know anymore.
You know, sometimes you just get put on the spot, and there's a bunch of kids watching because it's, you know, are you smart in the 5th grade? And you're like, I cannot fail.
Exactly. Maybe it was just the pressure. Maybe it was like
the pressure.
Performance anxiety. Okay, that's what we're gonna sum it up.
What time is it in your class right now? Can you read the clock behind you? That's a great question.
Okay, hold on. I gotta move first and foremost. Okay, it's 8:25. 8:25.
Yes.
A.M. It's definitely not 8:25 a.m. over here, but you know.
You did it.
I did it. You.
That was fast too. That's faster than I can do it.
you know, like the sticker meme where it's just like the "Your did it." It's like a poorly drawn star. Your did it.
You tried.
Hold on, let me grab it for you. Honestly, I feel like we need it in this class. Like the at the end of the class.
Your did it.
Oh yeah, excellent.
Did you draw your classroom, by the way?
No. This was drawn by Duke. I commissioned it.
Oh,
I commissioned it from Duke. This is
It's
a
very
special.
nice.
Thank you. It's nice and airy in here. You know, like very bright. One second. Your did it. There you go. There it is. I see it. So I now bestow you the highest award I can possibly bestow onto somebody in my class. In 5 seconds. You did it.
Oh my god, I drew one kind of like that yesterday. I don't have. Oh wait, maybe did I save it? Wait, hold on. Let me find if I drew a good one yesterday. Hold on. I think I did it.
You did it.
I did it. Wait, I'm gonna give you one too. Hold on.
You did it.
If I can find it, I will give you one.
Okay. Give me.
That I drew personally, myself using my mouse on Microsoft Paint.
Okay. Let me see.
It's gonna take a minute to load.
Don't worry about it. She did it, everybody. Well, technically, we're at the last question, and I kind of finished answering the last question. So everybody, give Ami a round of applause. She's did it.
I did it. Thank you so much. That's actually very helpful. I've never had art. I don't like watching videos for tutorials. I like picture and text together on a website where I can scroll through. But
Yeah, I get it.
To watch videos for this type of thing.
Watching videos is so difficult.
Explain, but yeah, it takes so much of your attention and like.
I actually explained the last time because the last person that was here had a question for me, and they asked, why are tutorials so hard to follow? And I actually answered that question, and I can re-answer that question for the people that are here. Just give me a second to re-find the answer to that question, because
I actually don't find them hard to follow personally, but I just don't like watching videos.
Oh yeah, no, I understand. But like
usually I'm looking for a specific step, like not the whole thing.
I get it. Okay, so okay, so they asked, why are tutorials for drawing so difficult? I have so many reference images and videos saved, but whenever I'm trying to study anatomy or coloring from those guides, I always seem to struggle to understand what they're teaching me. For anatomy, it's how many heads you use to make your character's height, or the distance between the eyes and limbs. For coloring, it never comes out of the same as reference images, which makes me think I'm doing something wrong. And my answer for it kind of was like, a lot of tutorials are aimed at. Okay, you can't put it on top of me, but if you give me the image, I will definitely put it on top of myself.
I just wanted to show it.
It's amazing. It's incredible.
Okay, thank you.
I did it.
You also did it. Miss Nyata says your tutorials are very helpful.
Oh, thank you. I thank you a lot for your public Twitter tutorials, Yoki, by the way. They're pretty handy to hear. I will definitely try to be clipping the tutorials that I do so I can post them on Twitter for all the artists newbies to see. But anyway, the reason why tutorials are really hard to follow is because a lot of the tutorials now are marketed towards people who have a decent understanding of art, not beginners at all. Like, they'll say they're beginner friendly, but you have to have a good knowledge of a user interface and all of the terminology that they use, which usually isn't the case, and which makes tutorials really difficult to follow. Also, even if you do have a basic understanding of art, a lot of the tutorials go from point A to point B really quickly, and what I find they do is that they don't explain why point A goes to point B, like how it does that. They'll explain like, oh, this thing goes here, but they don't explain why this thing goes here. So you're like, why do I do that? And you don't know where else to apply it other than like what the tutorial is showing you. So
it's like draw the rest of the owl type of.
Yeah, draw the rest of the owl. Like, I can draw the rest of the owl, but like, why does this owl like have legs here? And like, if you don't know why the owl has legs there, you like probably will draw them wrong in like other parts, like other drawings of an owl. Why does owl? Very true. Why does owl?
Not?
Why not owl? Yeah, that's probably what they do. They're like, why? Because I said so, and that's why I kind of fail. I need things explained to me like I'm 5 years old. And when you're explaining things to a toddler, you have to explain why, because they're gonna be like, why all the time. They just ask why. So once you explain why, it makes them a lot easier for them to wrap their heads around. And when understanding art, you're trying to understand why things interact the way they do, in order to further apply them to the rest of your drawings. And that's kind of where people fail. They don't explain why it happens. They just explain that it does happen and to put it here. Like for lots of eye tutorials, they label like they're like do this and this and this, but they don't understand why. Like why is the iris positioned this way? Like why is it drawn this way? Like why does it move further back when you're turning your head to the side? That sort of thing.
So you're not gonna be able to apply it in different situations.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to. Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Yeah, that's exactly. You wouldn't be able to apply it anywhere else but what they're showing you in the tutorial if you don't know why that thing happens. And also, again, it's not very beginner friendly. They don't explain it in ways that like people understand. They use a lot of terminology like analogous colors, like a lot of, like the normal person. I would walk up to the street like, do you know what analogous colors are? They don't know that. They don't know that. They've never studied color theory in their life unless I get really lucky and walk up to an artist. But I explained what analogous colors are. They're literally just 3 colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. Those are analogous colors. Why? Very good, Duke. Yes, so if you're trying to explain somebody to something, it's better to explain why that thing happens, which is why I'm here. Yeah.
You got British.
I'm yeah. Sometimes my accent is like a mesh of different accents. You want to know something? My voice changes depending on who I'm talking to. It's not something I like intentionally do, but if I'm talking to somebody that's more British...
You're being a teacher, so you were British. It's fine.
Yeah, it's so true. If I'm talking to somebody that's more British, my accent will take a more British tone. If I'm talking to somebody with a higher voice, I'll get a higher voice. I'm talking to somebody with a lower voice, I'll take a lower voice. It's very strange. My voice is a mess of lots of different voices.
What's the situation right now? How are you normal?
I think this is kind of like my customer service voice. Like, this is probably not the same. Like, there's a lot of debate on like VTubers' real voices. Like, what does the real voice look like? My real voice is more so what my natural speaking pitch is and what pitch is most comfortable for me. So, because right now this pitch is the most comfortable for when I'm talking. But like how I would talk to my parents is probably something like this. I would probably talk more like this to my parents rather than talking like this. But that's not very interesting at all, is it? And also, this just feels better on my throat, man.
Yeah, sometimes it's like how you mentioned talking to your parents, but you know your parents really well, so you know you don't have to make your tone and stuff super clear, so you can be more monotonous. I feel like when you're talking to
there's less emotion exhibited through my voice when I'm talking to like my parents. However, if I was talking like over the phone, like customer service, like, hey, how can I help you? Because like a higher voice and one that's more expressive is more attractive.
I have a scary customer service voice.
Let me see.
Oh, do you want to hear it?
I want to hear it.
Hold on. I'm gonna clear my throat. Hold on. Wait, am I the customer or am I the...
You're the person. You're like the retail worker.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Hello, this is Ami Aranya speaking. Can I start by getting your name and number, please? Is this scary?
Who is it? Who are you? What have you done to the Ami? That was in my class like 5 seconds ago. What the hell? My voice gets higher. Your voice gets lower. What the?
It's perfect. Well, cause sometimes I don't know. I have this thing where it's like feels like if you want people to take you seriously, sometimes you have to go lower. I don't know.
I just have to be as happy as possible. I did work in customer service for a little bit. Oh, that was a scary time. So,
yeah, I worked in customer service for a number of years.
Which job I worked in, but I worked in where I was managing calls, and I got a wrong call. Like somebody dialed the wrong number and went off on me. There's a really interesting story because they went off on me. They thought I was like the mistress for their boyfriend, like that their boyfriend was cheating on. Yeah, no, they were yelling all sorts of obscenities at me, like words that I didn't even think were possible to string together.
You're like, man, this is a Wendy's.
Things I don't even think I can repeat in here mentally. Like they thought I was like the I have no clue. This was like the company line. I don't know if like they gave them the wrong number or they just got the wrong number, but like I'm a very timid person, so I was like in the verge of tears because all of it felt incredibly personal. So at the end, like she said something a lot. I can't remember exactly what she said because this was like years ago. So she's at the end, like the end of what she said, she's like, "Do you have anything to say for yourself?" Like something along those lines. And I'm like, I don't even know what to say, so I just said like the company motto, like, "Hi, this is X company. How can I help you?" Like when I was about to cry, the lady just went into a shocked silence.
Oh
And
my god,
hung
you should
up.
have hung up. That would have been, if I was your manager, I would have totally understood if you hung up in that situation.
Yeah, no, I didn't know what to say. Like I was
Like,
trying
you
to think of like the
froze.
most like interesting thing to say after that, but I was like near like tears, and like I was like, "Hi, this is blank. How can I help you?" And she hung up immediately. After I think out of embarrassment, I didn't know how to deal with that at all. I was young, so I was like, I didn't really get like a manual on how to deal with like wrong number situations. So
Customer service can be hard on you. Usually I'm like, I can transfer you to
yeah.
I'm gonna Google a number and transfer you somewhere, and hopefully that's where you want to go. Or if they insist, just hang up. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Customer service did teach me a lot about patience. I can be patient with the most like absolutely infuriating people now. It's to the point where people are a little concerned because somebody will be outright mean to me, and I'll be like, "No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it." I just have like such a handle over my own emotions now. It even surprised me because usually I used to have outbursts, but now like I'm just kind of like zen all the time.
Not like if you work in a call center or whatever, you can like take a break and go cry. Even though you want to, you know?
I haven't cried in years. Anyway,
Whoa.
I'm gonna leave this here on your desk.
Thank you.
Yeah, so yeah, you always have it. Oh, you already did it. The sticker.
I did it.
You did it. Okay. Any other questions before? Do you still want to do the critique? We're 3 hours in, by the way. Do you still want to do the critique?
It's a
yeah.
late on
Yeah, exactly. That's what I figured. So yeah, I didn't want to keep you for too long. We just got so off topic that we got
some good stuff.
We got good stuff though.
I'm gonna try drawing a guy.
Okay. You're gonna try drawing a guy?
Like soon, not like right now.
Soon. Once you do, send it to me, and I'll see what you did.
Okay.
I'll give you the reference too. I'll give you like the drawing that I did earlier, so you can this one. I will post it on Twitter for everybody to see. This one over here. Should I post it with or without the face?
Maybe both.
Maybe both. Yeah. You know what? I'll post both. I personally like the face. I don't know what you guys have against it.
I don't have anything against it, but your premise was that it was less threatening.
Yeah, exactly. Look how beautiful he is.
I don't agree with that.
Look how beautiful he is. Look how gorgeous he is. Doesn't this look like a man that you'd want to shake your hand? A firm handshake.
I don't want to anywhere near.
It's okay, I understand. But yep, I'll be posting a lot of this stuff on Twitter for everybody to see if you want it. So if you're like gonna go to Twitter afterwards just to pick up the stuff for reference material on your own, yeah, go ahead. But Ami, did you get good stuff from this stream?
I did, especially about the well, no, everything. I was gonna say especially about the men and the sketches and drawing and colors. But that's everything.
That's kind of everything. Yeah, that's kind of you only really had 3 questions. I was like 3 questions. Oh man, the stream's gonna be so short, but no, the stream was way too long just because of idle chatter.
I know I'm always gonna have like subsequent questions because that's just you know. I don't know. Yeah. I'm bad at thinking things on the spot, but then once we get into it, I'm like, oh, but what about this and this and this?
Yeah. I'm also bad at answering questions on the spot because the thing is,
you did a great job.
I have ideas, but it's hard to convey them.
No, you did an excellent job. I very 10 out of 10 class.
Oh my god.
On Yelp.
Oh my god, you're gonna rate me 5 stars on Yelp? Thank you. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'll give you 10 stars. 5 stars? 10 stars.
Is it like does it go up to 5 or 10 on Yelp? I don't know.
Whatever, 100%.
100%! Yay! Yay! I was never really confident. I think this class is slowly helping me with my explaining skills.
Yeah, it will help you. It will help you. Especially when you have someone to bounce off of, it's different than explaining stuff to avoid.
Exactly.
I used to be a teaching assistant, and it's so much easier.
Yes, exactly.
And it helps you learn stuff sometimes too. If you have someone there to ask you questions, and you're like, I never really thought about why, but if I had to explain it, I'd do blah 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 blah.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I never really thought about it this way, but like if I had like if I had to put some words into it, yeah, I found a lot of questions that way. A lot of the reason like I ask you to like put the questions in advance instead of asking questions on the spot on stream, or like bring your own questions to stream and I'll answer them right there for you, is so I can take some time to learn about the subjects that you are teaching me, because a lot of the thing is that like, again, I was self-taught. I learned how to do everything myself. I didn't really study. Do you know what I mean? Like I learned how to do everything just by kind of looking at it. Like I learned color theory just by seeing how colors interact with each other. I never really learned the terminology or the words for it or like the science behind it. I kind of just knew, out just studying other people's drawings and the way they used colors. So I had to do a little bit of like, while I did know color theory, I had to do a little bit of studying beforehand before I was fully prepared to answer that question, because the thing is, I do want you to get answers to your questions, but I also want you to learn the way I did in seeing the way things interact with each other, because I'm a visual learner. I need things visually in front of me in order to understand them properly. So I was doing my best to like provide that. So yeah, I kind of learned everything myself, but I still need to organize my thoughts and everything and show you exactly how to do it, like the textbook way and also the Yoki way. So you get lots of information.
It was lots of information. Thank you. I have lots to mull over. I'm definitely gonna be rewatching.
Definitely
the VOD.
Oh, if you need any other resources afterwards, I'm more than happy to point you in certain directions. I don't see many, like I haven't watched many tutorials on it, but there's a lot of image in which you can break down like the shape language of many people. I use my Sharingan.
I'm okay at like reverse engineering stuff. So yeah, I think I can figure that stuff out in the same way.
Once you figure out how things interact with each other, things become extremely easy. Like it's, for beginner artists, it's difficult to get a grasp on how like shapes and work, but once you understand what goes where and how like shapes build a character, then it becomes exponentially more easy to just deconstruct other drawings and figure out how they do it, and using their knowledge to make yours. It's okay. Listen, a lot of artists use references too. Look, one thing I forgot to mention: references, people. References. You want to use references for this. If you don't know how to draw a guy, use references on how to draw a guy. Don't just wing it from what I've told you. You're going to want to pull
I've only started doing that in like the last year.
Why, Abby?
Well, I started doing it at least.
I'm glad at some point it happens, but Abby, please.
Because like I'm like old, right? So when I was like drawing and putting things on the internet, if you reference anything at all, people will be like, "Oh, that's stealing. That's art theft."
No,
and people had a I know that's not like true, but people had a very skewed understanding back in those days.
Yeah, I do actually understand. Like if your pose was slightly similar to somebody else's, even if you didn't even touch it, you didn't even touch that drawing, they're like traced, you traced it. Yeah, God, I remember that. I used to have to like post like the work in progresses to all of my drawings along with the post. I used to use a different social media, and back then, like, you had to post like the work in progress pictures, otherwise your post would be taken down. So such a strange rule back then. Like because it made it a lot easier to steal your art, but still.
It's hard to get out of the mentality.
The mentality was really toxic.
But I've started using references.
I'm very glad, because references are very, very important when it comes to artwork. You can walk up to any artist and they would probably use references. So yeah, if you are learning how to draw something and you come to me and you're like, okay, how do I draw this thing? And I'll explain how to draw it for you. Don't just take my word for it. Also learn. It's okay to trace when you're learning something, as long as you don't claim it as yours. It's also a very, very good way to get a basic understanding of how like the body works, like the side profile, that sort of thing. If you trace it enough, eventually you'll learn how to do it yourself via muscle memory and eyesight memory and that sort of thing, so you won't even need to trace anymore, and it'll just become a little bit of part of your skill tool belt. So referencing and tracing, especially with like different perspectives and different ways of doing it, rather than this just standing guy. Like, you want to make him do a dynamic pose, you will probably need a reference for that. But eventually you'll become so well versed in drawing guys, you probably still use a reference for other things, but it'll become way more natural to you, and it'll look a lot better. So yeah, references important. Use them. Stop cheating.
I agree.
Yay, we did it!
We did it! Thank you so much for teaching me, and thank you for having me on your channel.
Thank you for having me as your teacher, Ami. It means a lot that you came here. Otsukaresama deshita. Thank you everybody for joining today. How would you rate my class on a scale of 1 to 10? Come on, give me. I need the Yahoo
I'm 7
answers.
out of 10. You know, it's the Yelp 100%.
The Yelp 100%. I'm glad.
You're very well prepared. I like that you asked for my questions ahead of time and prepared for them. That's very you're a what is the word? Consummate professional or something.
Professional?
A consummate professional.
Thank you so much. I love teaching you. I learned a lot while teaching you too, so I wanted to thank you for like the experience too. These classes do help me a lot too. I'm very glad that you decided to come on too. I had the most fun trying to teach you.
Thank you so much. I'll show you my dude that I drew.
Yeah, show me your hot ikemen bishojo guy. Afterwards.
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay, no, you're not gonna do the you know like the meme from MHA where it's like the dude becomes really like flowery and sparkly and he holds his hand out, you know.
I'm gonna draw a buckle, but cause I draw like that's what I call my viewers. I'm gonna draw a buckle, but guy this time instead of a girl.
Oh my god. I hope that goes well. You guys are in luck. I've taught her how to draw you guys.
Thank you.
Yay! This is the end. Thank you very much for all joining the class today.
Thank you.
You guys are amazing. And thank you, Ami, for joining the class today.
Thank you so much.
I hope to one day have you back even stronger than before.
I'm strong.
You're strong. You got stronger today. You've gained knowledge today. You could become even stronger than you were before. But thank you everybody again for joining. And I hope you can join next week too. I do these every Friday, 8 p.m. Hopefully. It depends on the other person's time zone. 8 p.m. is very flexible, but it happens every Friday. So if you want to learn more about art with different questions and different subjects and different ways of doing it, I'm definitely gonna be doing these every Friday. But like for other streams, I don't just stream art. You know, I do them on Fridays. Wait, no, sorry. I do Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. I stream Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So yeah, no, I spent times for doing these things. Yeah. So,
yay.
Ami, is there anything you want to promote before you go?
Oh, I stream like every day, pretty much, except Sundays usually. Except this week, I do stream Sunday, but it's a member stream.
Oh my god.
I play retro games. I got karaoke tomorrow. Jazz.
Karaoke.
My voice. There's a very gap between my speaking voice and my singing voice.
I know another friend like that who has like a very high voice, but their singing voice goes a lot deeper. I'm so excited for the karaoke. I think I might show up too. You all better show up to Ami's karaoke. I don't care who you are. We're all going to Ami's karaoke. But thank you, Ami. So here's where we're going to end the stream. And otsukaresama deshita to you too, guys. You probably did very well. I don't see your drawings. I hope you took notes. But yes, thank you. So we're gonna end the stream here. Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Otsuyoki. You wanna say what's your ending greeting?
Otsukaresamiya.
That's so cute. Otsukaresamiya. Bye bye, everybody.